Hi guys and welcome. I'm very excited to introduce you guys to Death Before Dishonour Season 3. We're back in the tournament format, and of course it is the standard 4-man best of 3 tournament, and we have a pretty exciting lineup for you guys, so I hope you guys are prepared. So in round 1 we do have the mighty A-Move Haku's already in the lobby here as Sandman the Ben up against Ninja. These guys are going to be playing on Troll Country, Outdoor Outskirts, and if it goes to a game 3, Toothgrass Hill. And then in round 2 we have the very mighty and powerful Park Map and Ronin facing off against each other, which I believe is a bit of an Italian civil war, so that should be a very good game. Now, most of these guys have played on the channel before and know the rules, so we are using the Warhammer Cup rules, invented by the mighty Shetland Apache and a few other people, I believe. Basically, those rules are just to stop kite drawing, boring games, that type of stuff. It stops a lot of spamming, but to be honest, we're here just for a good time, and I'm sure that's what we're going to get given. So it looks like a Ninja has hopped in, so let's say hello to him. Yo, yo. And we are going to be running on a pickle ban or gentleman's agreement situation. It really depends what the guys want to do. I'm pretty damn chill and happy for them to do whatever they want to do. But welcome. Hope you guys are ready for some action. Going to see some skulls get crushed, hopefully, and get this underway. Cool. I'm just going to check my Discord, make sure there's no questions or anything. Everyone knows we are all up and running. And looks like we are all good. Sweet, sweet. I'm excited. So yes, the mighty A-Move versus Ninja in round 1. Park Map versus Ronin in round 2. Those guys are going to be playing on River Maxon, the Orgum Shard and Tower of Hoeth. And the finals will take place on El Anguil. Alpine Ridge, as always, will be the second game in the finals, as it's quite thematic of, two people clawing their way to the top of the hill to try and gain that crown. And then also the map I can't say the name of, Schwosterschaven, is the closest we're going to get. But of course, you guys see that at the time. What's up, Ronan? Good to see you in the chat. He is, of course, one of our mighty competitors for today, representing the Extreme Meme team, I believe. Is that A-Move? Yes, it is. It looks like A-Move is just away from his keyboard at the second. We're getting back in a sec, and those guys can start their matchups. Cool, cool. Make sure everything is up and running, and we have the scoreboard on, which we do. And we should get cracking. Should be some good fun. So we haven't done Death Before Dishonour for a little while now, but we are back. And it should be pretty exciting. So this is Season 3. We didn't do the Champion Special we tend to do. So what normally happens in one of these, there is 4 episodes, I suppose, in the season. And the winner of each episode will come together in a grand finale. We haven't done Season 2s yet because it was pretty disjointed. I took quite a few months off in between running the actual tournaments. So we may still do a Champion Special. Might do it at the end of this season. So we'll do both Champion Specials together. But of course, whoever wins this will get a ticket into the finals. What's up, Park Map? Read it. Oh god. Read it. Schwarzschaven. That's as close as you're going to get. I think A-Move is away from the keyboard at the second. But we should be all good. Troll Country, really super fun map. Tend to start out my tournaments this way, as they're very small map. Blood and Thunder affair. There's still, room for kind of range and skirmish factions, lots of hills and trees and so forth. But it gets the action underway very quickly, which I like to see. Like to see some skulls get crushed. Just let Ninja know that I think he's away. Looks like he is back. So it's pick a ban. Who picks and bans first? A-Move picks first. Cool. And we'll let those guys sort that out. Hello, hello. What's up, Disla? Hope you're doing good, my friend. Don't think I've seen you around before, so welcome. We are doing a tournament here, so there's a 4-man best of 3 tournament, best of 3 semis and finals. So it should run for about 2 hours, should be some good fun. Hope you stick around and enjoy. If you're new to the channel, we do multiplayer videos mainly, focused around Total War Warhammer, and mainly the multiplayer scene, but I do occasionally do campaign streams, King of the Hill streams, where anyone can take part, and tournaments like this. And if you want to get involved in the future ones, just message me on Discord. I believe I have put a link down below in the comments. So you can just click on that and get involved. Cool. Looks like Sandman Ben, also known as A-Move, is taking the mighty Lizard Men here, which he did message me before and say that he was going to try and sacrifice some blood for the old one, so I'm very excited for that. As I am a Lizman main, I'm going to say main. I don't know if I really main a single faction. I've got a few factions I feel I'm relatively skilled with. Lizardmen, I enjoy good wood elves, high elves. Not too bad with Norskins. I can play a little bit of Dowie. It really depends on what my opponent brings. Quite like Beastmen as well these days. So it's pretty good fun. So Ninja is cycling through at the moment and trying to figure out who he wants to pick. Maybe rocking Bretonia, which feels quite risky here, as Bretonia up against Lizardmen is definitely Lizardman favoured, at least in my opinion, but he may pull something out of the bag. Let's have a little look. Oh, he's waiting for the bands. Okay. Waiting for the bands. Now, who do I ban in this situation? Lizardmen? Probably Vampire Coast. It's just, I mean, maybe not on this map, but most of the time Vampire Coast, just disgusting amounts of cheap AP fire can really put your dinos down, unfortunately. You have to go very skink and Saurus heavy and just try and swarm your opponent, but even then, sometimes if they have a good enough defense, it is not quite enough. Nope, I'm just getting back into Total War. I normally play Moyplay. Awesome, man. Well, it's good to have you around, dude. If you do want to get involved in our little community and play some tournaments and whatnot, we have all types of skill level here. So, as you can see right now, we have A-Move Hacker, very experienced tournament player, and Ninja, who's only really played on this channel so far as tournaments go. He may have played in one ECL, I'm not sure. But we welcome all. Noobs and Gods of Wars, all welcome. Cool. Looks like A-Move maybe running around grabbing some water or something. Give him a little bit of time, there is no rush. Just check my Discord, make sure we've got no problems. Looks like we are all good. Cool, so it's waiting for him to ban. He might actually be building his army, not actually thinking and have forgotten the bans. But yes, who is your money on? The experienced veteran or the upstart? And in round 2, of course, we have Parkmap and Ronin, who have both played on the channel. I don't know if Ronin has played in a tournament before or just King of the Hills, but Parkmap, I think, has been around since Season 1 of Death Before Dishonour, which is quite a long time ago. I think the channel's about 6 months old, so we are forever growing, which is always good. What's slow now? Cool. I'm sure he knows, but just a little gentle reminder there, a little nudge in the right direction. I'm still one of the worst players on Earth, though, in quick play. I maybe win 1 in 30 games I play. No worries, man. Literally, we have players like that in Discord who happily kind of play in tournaments, King of the Hills and stuff I do. There is literally no pressure. All my tournaments, we try and keep them fairly competitive. You know, we have a few rules and whatnot, but at the same time, we just keep it fairly chill as well. I'll ban Skaven. Sweet. I think that's a pretty good peg. Skaven and Vampires are pretty damn scary. I don't mind Skaven too much. I do have a little cheeky Salamander build I sometimes take against them. You did play in Death Before Dishonour. You did. Got 200 by A-Move. Well, hopefully you don't face off against him again, Parkmap. Yes, Ronin's just played in King of the Hills, but I don't think he's played in a Death Before Dishonour yet. Which is all good. Yes. Cool. So it looks like Ninja is taking Tomb Kings, which is one of the most frustrating armies to face when you're Lizardmen. I hate Ushopti Greatbows. I've said this on stream countless times. They are the bane of my existence. And a huge pain to deal with, to be honest. They're really nasty. But recently, I've gotten more used to taking them down. Fought Poison Ducky recently in an ECL game. I think we came up against each other, which was really, really sad. 2 duck bros fighting each other. And I've got like I kind of go very Salamander heavy, Skink heavy, and trying to overrun the opponent with 1 or 2 big dinosaurs, kind of risking those guys up against these Shopti Greatbows. But it seems to work relatively well, which is always good. Hi Daniel, how's it going, man? Hope you're all good today. Davin as well, what's up? Good to see you guys about. So you guys have made it in time for the first game. So this is the first of our 2 semi-finals, with A-Move, aka Sandman the Ben, up against Ninja Penguin, who are going Lizardmen and Tomb Kings respectively. And then we have the Mighty Park map and Mighty Ronin in the second semi-final. And of course, the winners of each will come together in the best of 3 final. So fairly small, quite quick tournament. Should take about 2 hours probably, and be some decent fun. Just going to take a little quick sip of my drink. Got it all in a flask, so apologies for the squeaky noises of me taking off the lid throughout the stream. Still trying to get over my plague that was put on me by Nurgle, unfortunately. So it's not too bad, so we should be fine. And the guys just assigned their armies so far. So we are, of course, doing Warhammer Cup rules made by the Mighty Shetland, and I think a few other guys as well who contributed. And eventually I might switch over to Aero Classics rules. I don't know. I don't really know them as well. I'm not sure what the pros and benefits are of either one and which one people are kind of leading to at the moment. I think it's just up to whoever runs the tournament at this current time. Not knowing which faction I want to play, it doesn't help. I like pretty much every faction, but especially High Elves, Lizardman, Skaven, Celtic, and Trainer. Right, yes, Sandman is a move, Davin. Right, if I was you, I would pick possibly 3 factions, which gives you quite kind of a wide variety of factions, and practice those 3 factions for the most part, because when you go into tournaments, a lot of things are best of 3, so you kind of want 3 at least fairly decent ones. But at the same time, you can branch out. I don't really specialise in that many factions. I do have kind of a more broad sense of stuff. Great tournaments. I am new here, and I love this. Hell yes! Well, welcome, dude. Hopefully you stay for the long term and get into Total War yourself. David, the White Lizard, the man, the myth, the legend. Hope you're doing good. Nice to see you around as always. You've made it in time for the first game. Looks like A-Move is ready, just waiting on Ninja. And Troll Country it is. Small, close quarters, blood and thunder. I'm expecting to see a lot of skeletons go flying, and lizards, very sadly, have the life leaked out of them. I think this matchup, though, is become more even over the course of its kind of multiplayer history. I think Tomb Kings, when they first came out, kind of dominated this, but Lizardman have gained some very nice new tools since then, and under the hands of a good player, which of course A-Move is, we should see some pretty good builds. I'm interested to see, I don't want to spoil it, I'm very interested to see what his build is. He brought a very interesting build in one of the recent King of the Hills, which I'm kind of praying for a little bit. We are currently playing on the beta patch. This is the first time trying it out for me. Normally I'm not actually a big fan of betas and stuff. Personally, because organisation is a pain in the arse trying to get everyone on it, or on some people it doesn't download properly and it doesn't work on computers and so forth. I understand why they do it, and they're testing that out before they make it go live to everyone, but to be honest, I find them a little bit frustrating. But it's what it is. Apologies if I do reply slightly slow to comments. There is a lag, of course, from what you're seeing and when your comments come through and so forth. I haven't actually added a lag, that's just natural from streaming, but I will try and respond to as many comments as possible. I have them up on my phone, so I'm mainly looking be looking between games. So just waiting on the Mighty Ninja, who's a relatively new competitive player, but played quite a lot of my player over the time, plays some best of 5s against me, played on the channel quite a bit. So good example as well to other new players who want to get involved. Feel free. There is a link to my Discord just in the description below. Hopefully it's popped up. Sometimes links are a little bit dodgy coming onto YouTube channels and they block them and as spam and all that type of stuff. Let's have a look. Can I see it? I can't see it on my phone. Hopefully it's there. If not, I will drop a link at some point in the chat towards the end of the stream, or just message me on there. Cool. Looks like Ninja is still just assigning his army. So after this map, we do have Outdoor Outskirts, which is one I'm going to chuck into my tournament rotation, and Toothgrass Hill if it goes to all the way to the finals of the best of 3, which I hope it does. Hope to see as many games as possible. And yeah, I don't want to click on one of these because it will reveal that army I don't have a shot blocker up. First as well, a massive shout out to Lord Zeus, by the way. You probably know him off Quick Battles. He's also known as Gunda Plays and is starting up a YouTube channel, so do go check that out. I don't believe he's got any content up on there yet, but he does have created the channel. But he's the one who designed the thumbnail for me, which is very cool. Got Krokgar on it, which is always good to see. A Lizardman and Skaven themed one for this season of Death Before Dishonour. Let's see what you guys are saying. So you like heavy with a decent amount of cav. Yeah, Bretonia can be really good in Empire. But Bretonia are quite hard for new players as they have a ton of weak matchups as well. But Empire, I feel they're very versatile and kind of go any which direction. If you like cav quite a lot though, there's countless factions you can bring. Send injury. Cool. Just saying good luck, have fun by aiming there. Just sent a little message to Ninja, make sure he's all good. I'm pretty sure he was a little bit terrified of facing off against a move in round one, a very scary opponent. I think I've only played a move once or twice and got my butt kicked for the most point. But no, it looks like Ninja, so I'm just going to message through on Steam. It is just, he says he's been a little bit slow. He's not that fast, but there's no rush. There is no rush. Avalanche mortars were fixed in this patch or not? So, they are now closer together, I believe, as models. Oh no, you're talking about the Regiment Round ones, aren't you? I'm not sure if they've been fully fixed. Scourge Runners have been nerfed, huzzah. Which is just good news for everyone, to be honest. They've lost a little bit of health, I believe, and I think the nets have been affected on the Regiment of Renowned version. But the mortars in general, I believe, are now tighter and closer together, so they're easier to kill. I'm not sure if there was many other changes to them, but it's mainly small patches. They're trying to fix multiplayer and all kind of stuff that got messed up over Christmas. But yes. Who's your guys' money on? I don't know if you've seen either of these guys play before or played against them. Looks like Ninja is ready. So we are going to ready up. Don't worry too much about Ninja clicking in and out of stuff and whatnot. He does, unfortunately, suffer from quite serious OCD, I believe. So he has to click things a certain amount of times and stuff, which is also why sometimes it takes him a little longer to build armies and stuff. But it's all good. It's all good in the hood. Both these guys, super nice competitors, and for anyone who is new, best way to get onto my channel and best way to stay on the channel once you've been on as far as tournaments and whatnot is just kind of a good reputation of being a nice person. Honestly, it's not really about your skill level. I'm much more impressed. I don't block anyone from being in the tournament if they're new to tournaments or whatever, but if they're an arse and they're not very good at cooperating and so forth, then that's when you start getting problems and whatnot. So that's the main thing to remember, and that's why this is called Death Before Dishonour. For you should lose before you dishonour yourself. They increased the cost of the Night Goblin Shaman. I'm upset. I love the Night Goblin Shaman, and they've increased his cost. But he is actually pretty good. I don't really see many people take him, though, so I don't know if it was necessary. But, yeah, a Vanguarding, sneaky, super fast little Goblin should probably cost a little bit more. So, Troll Country, the mighty map. We're about to get underway now. Does have these raised platforms for some defensive approach. Also a lot of trees in, also a little burp there, in the different pockets and around the periphery. And a massive open killing pit right in the middle here, which is often where you see armies get dragged into and just they slaughter each other. It's really fantastic. Which is what we're here for. In the distance we see some little ruins down there of some broken down castles. So unfortunately probably castles of the Empire, which hopefully someone will avenge at some point. Well, both players just loading in now. I'm excited to see what they've brought. A-Move has recently been bringing wacky and crazy builds in a lot of my King of the Hills and so forth every time we've seen him play. So interested to see what he brings. And a lot of new players as well who aren't used to tournaments as much, such as Ninja, often also bring off-meta picks, which can really throw your opponent and pair them off their game. So it's always quite interesting seeing a nice mix of different players. Tomb King Halberd Snake's got a little buff. Nice. I haven't seen them used too much, but I don't really face Tomb Kings all that much. But yes, waiting for the players to join in. Don't worry, this doesn't indicate like lag or any of that type of stuff. It just is dependent on their computer, basically, on how quickly you will load in. And then once you're in, that's kind of when you can see what it's like. But I've played both these guys before and not had any lag issues, I don't believe, so it should be fine. Nice little hidden bits of terrain, some little trees. Wonder if we're going to get any sneaky stabbings coming in here. Praying we do. And yeah, it should be interesting. Lizardmen probably going to go for a little bit of a rush here against the Tomb Kings. You don't want to sit back against Ushopti. I know Ninja is a fan of his single entity monsters, so I'm expecting some Sphinxes, maybe Cetra on top of his kitty cat as well. Nice misty mountains in the distance there for a nice cinematic approach. And we should get underway. Hopefully. Haven't actually tested a game out on the beta yet, so I don't know if there's going to be any problems with people loading in with it, but it seems like it was all fine for now. Let's a quick little look at chat. Greenskins are pretty good in terms of balance. Yeah, I think greenskins are fine. I feel like, I think it's kind of enough Vindictive Glare. Yeah, possibly. I mean, greenskins, they're in an okay place, I think, but I could see them getting a DLC soon, probably with the High Elves. I know that's kind of been talked about quite a lot. Alright, good with the net. I am all loaded in, so hopefully one of these guys isn't going to have a problem. Seems like Ninja's unfortunately not loading in yet, so I'm going to ask him how close he is to loading in. Come on. I don't think this has ever hit 0 for me before. I don't know what happens. the whole stream might collapse and like a rift in time is opened and we're all sucked through. Waiting for players to finish loading. Okay, now he's in, so it might be a move. I'm pretty sure he's a decent computer, so... Yeah, probably they increase his price just because people are using him for Vindictive Glare. Yeah, pretty much. Maybe keep him at the same price and increase the price of Vindictive Glare. Maybe would have been a better option. Come on, guys. I've got 2 messages on Discord. Doesn't look like it's from any of the players. Okay. What is going on? Hopefully no one's been having any problems with the beta. I haven't actually tried it out yet, so hopefully it is all working. Sorry for the slow start to the stream. It unfortunately does happen now and again. When you obviously try and get players to connect from all around the world and whatnot, it can be a little slow, unfortunately. No. Yeah. Okay. And unfortunately, a move has been dropped from the game. No. Drop a message and make sure he's all good. Okay. Oh, he's been dropped completely. Invite him back in. See if he joins, and then I'll send a message, make sure his computer is all good and whatnot. Cool. We'll let him hop back in and see what's going on. And we will get this back underway shortly. We can always switch over to the other game and the other competitors if these guys need a while to sort out their internet and stuff. But it should hopefully be fine. My internet is all good. I'm plugged directly into the LAN, which is nice. so we don't tend to have any internet problems. Says he's still in game, so we'll try and get him in. But if not, Ronin and Parkmap, if you guys want to get ready as well, just in case, I can always chuck you in and let these guys prepare afterwards. Sorry, just looking and sending messages around. Says he's still online. Don't want to spam him with messages. So I'll give him a couple of minutes and see if he loads in. Sorry about the slow start, guys. Cool, looks like both the other guys are ready in case we need to chuck them in. This is really frustrating though. I'm sure Amy is trying to load back in as we speak. Yeah, he's still live on Discord as well. And it says he's in Total War. So we'll send him one more invite, see what he says, and get this sorted. Oh, he has gone. Oh, there it is. Oh. We'll see if he can load back in. If not, we will move across to the other two and switch these guys around. Yeah, that's just Ninja messaged me, that's fine. Do wonder if his internet has completely dropped out because he's not messaged me yet. So we'll literally give him a couple of minutes. If not, we will switch this around. Which should be cool. But yes, do apologise for the inconvenience, but this has happened a few times on stream. It happens now and again, trying to get people to connect and whatnot. And unfortunately, it's a little out of my control, but that's fine. We get to sit here and chill out. And of course, when people look back on this, they can always just skip to the battles. Ah, okay, weird. A-move said it told him that both of us had left the lobby, and he was in. No worries. It may be bugs with the beta. Looks like they're all good. Also, he's back. Yay. Cool, so let him know it is the same armies. Message Ninja, let him know. And we will get started finally. So stream probably going to go for about 2.5 hours now instead of just the 2, but that's fine. Should be about 2 from once the competitors actually get crack-a-lacking. Cool, he's just asking some questions, it's fine. We're going to take the same armies. Let's see how it goes. Yes, I played a bit on beta and had no problems, so hopefully that's not the problem. Okay, so hopefully it was just being weird and we can just get cracking and go. Which I'm praying. I don't want the tournament to be plagued by stuff. We had a King of the Hill after Christmas when all the problems were going on with multiplayer, and it was a nightmare. We got kicked out of every lobby basically after every single game. We had to rehost, and eventually the whole game just shut down and went open. It was a nightmare, but looks like they fixed it for the most parts. We're loading in now, so fingers crossed this goes a bit better. If this one doesn't work and they get kicked out, what we're going to do is do the other matchup, Park Map versus Ronin, and try this again afterwards, and if not, we'll figure something out. Between us, we should have the combined might to get through this. Cool, so we're loaded in now, so we're all in, which is good. Give these guys a little second. I've got a relatively new computer, so it tends to come into this kind of screen in the waiting for other players, but... Yes. I'm hoping for a big old death blob in the middle, so I did spy a few of the units on either army, but I tried my best just to skip through it, so it's still a little bit of a surprise, but I think we have some sassy salamanders from the lizard men, hoping the Umbral Tide, which would be nice. You think Transformant yesterday was on the beta version? I believe it was. I think. And I'm assuming that ran with like very little problems, so. Fingers crossed this one does as well. Might be the lobby that's bugged as well. That does sometimes happen, but hopefully it is not. Lizardmen vs Tomb Kings. Probably going to be a fairly simple kind of rush from the Lizardmen down the throat with a little bit of flank pressure as well, and the Tomb Kings trying to protect probably Shopty Great Bows, I'm assuming, which are very useful at taking down big dinos and so forth. Salamanders as well, they trade very effectively at from range. Obviously you have to use your spearmen and cheaper chaff to kind of keep them at arm's reach, which is really key, but if you can do that, they can trade very effectively and just be a general nuisance. You can get in the back of them with like a Carnosaur, I find. A cheap old blood on a Carnosaur with Amulet of Itzel, force your way into the back line and just shut them down as quickly as possible, or try and swarm them with skinks and all those nastiness. Come on, guys, please. It normally takes kind of like people this long to load in, but I'm always suspicious. Hey, okay, this banner has popped up, which is a good sign. Yes, I see armies. Yes, praise the old ones, right? Thank God. Let's have a little look at Sam and Ben, also known as A-Move Hacker. I'm going to keep getting that mixed up as I see it. Army. So, for the front line, here's a mixture of red-crested skinks, Saurus warriors, and basic skinks. Looks like we also have the cohort of Sotek, regiment around skinks who will refuse to die because they're that badass, and they don't listen to no regular gods. Looks like we have some Cold One Spear Riders on either flank, one on each side. Nice anti-large, quite fast as well. Maybe a bit slow for Cav, but they can pack a punch. And of course, dinosaurs, rhino, velociraptors. What's not to love? Looks like we also have one in the centre, which is the Pok Hopak cohort, regiment renowned version, who can in fact vanguard and have a really cool colour scheme. Loving the red kind of on the grey there. Up front, we have one unit of Chameleon Skinks. Is it just the one? Yep, looks like one of the best skirmishers in the game. Really sticky, hard to hit, and deliver poison damage, so they're incredibly annoying to hunt down. We have the Umbral Tide here in the back, one of my favourite units, so regiment around Salamanders. These guys, of course, give massive anti-large damage, fairly good armour piercing, and of course, they're doggos. Like, you've got to love them. Flaming damage should do very good against constructs. For his leadership core, we do have a Skink Priest of Beasts, just bringing that Manticore summon. Really nice to try and get back on top of you, Shopty. And for his Lord, we do have the Mighty Krokgar on a Horned one. Normally see him on top of big old Grimlock, but I quite like this play here. I don't bring this anywhere nearly enough. But against Tomb Kings, I can see it working quite well. He, of course, has brought Hand of the Gods and all his buffs. Hand of the Gods, very, very good against Tomb Kings. Can absolutely destroy leadership if they're not careful. So we have a bit of a Dowie geometry by the looks of it from this Tomb Kings army here. A little bit of a defensive approach. So we do have some skeleton spearmen. Nice, just chaffy, cheap troops to hold down the front line while the rest of his army does the damage. Now, doing that damage is, of course, going to be the two dreaded Ushopti Great Bows, which he's trying to protect with this little box here. I hate these guys. I curse them. I curse them before this game and hope they crumble to their doom. Protecting them in the back, we do have some more elite infantry. Tombgaro Halberds will do very good against the big dinosaurs. We also have some of the sneaky snakes. Now, these guys do have that anti-large as well as Stalk as well. So A-Move won't know these guys are here. They can hop on and protect this back line from any large threats. Will do very well against those Cold One Cav, although the Cold Ones do anti-large back themselves. One more unit of skeletons in reserve. And then for leadership core, we do have Setcha the Imperishable on top of his kitty cat, as I kind of expected, bringing all his buffs, Wrath of Petra, Incantation of Desecration, Protection, all of that good stuff. as well as the Sphinx of Yuskef, which is probably said very wrong there, but you guys know who he is. He is the man, the myth, the legend, the regiment-renowned Necro Sphinx. So, very defensive approach here from the Tomb Kings, and we are underway. So let's see, any questions in chat? I don't underestimate my opponents. Good luck, you will probably not need it. Well, he said he doesn't underestimate his opponents, which is all good, and nice just kind of friendly talking from both of them, which I'd like to see. Shoppies are pushing a little bit forward outside this box, trying to get some early shots, probably on those Cold One Spear Riders, I can imagine. And a very wide approach here from the Lizardmen, kind of coming in at 2 blobs here. We have a much faster core on the right-hand side, trying to get into that back line. Some early chameleon shots are going in on top of the Shopsy, which is a nice little pick. And is that a Hand of the God's Eye here? It was coming in and doing some very decent damage to Cetra straight off the bat. Getting it out nice and early so it can recharge as quickly as possible. Because the Skinks just forcing out the Stalkers and pushing them back here. And we can see they're going to be starting to get quite a nice surround. Umbral Tide unleashing a torrent of flame onto the Stalkers. They're doing some really decent damage. Looks like, no, that guy's not going to go down. The Stalkers are now getting pinned in by Red Crested Skinks. They have overextended, not where they want to be. We do have the Cav trying to come in this right-hand engagement, but the Sphinx has pushed those guys off. Cetra here as well. It's going to be a little bit scary, but it looks like Crocar is going straight for him. Just thug life in it, going straight for him, nipping at his heels there. Of course, he is anti-large himself and should do some decent damage. Takes a big punch back there as Cetra does start popping all his buffs here. So in the front line, Umbral Tide are now flinging shots onto the Shopsies who need to fall back, getting protection like this unit right here. Otherwise, we're going to take a massive amount of damage. We do have a Manticore Summon on the top of this left flank as well as the Cold Ones sweeping around here, going to be threatening the back lines. Manticore Summon probably going to be hopping on top of these Shopsy and just shutting them down, trying to finish them off as quickly as possible. And the surround is pretty much on. Hopak Cohort did push into the back line. Go for a little bit of cycle charge, but have been scared off by Skeleton Spearmen. And for the big blob fight, some Skinks are running, and it looks like Crocar has been slain by the combination of Cetra and the Sphinx. So a really nice catch by Ninja there. Crocar going really, just ham there, going straight after Cetra, doing a huge amount of damage, but he's not going to get that second hand on the gods. And that could swing the balance of power maybe back into the middle, as it is currently quite Tomb King heavy at this point. Now, what the Tomb Kings need to do is shut down the Umbral Tide. Get these Stalkers immediately now, take them onto the Umbral Tide and shut them down. He needs to get rid of everything that is anti-large and hope that Cetra and Sphinx can carry this game on their back. But Manticore has hopped on top of Cetra, and it looks like another one is summoned, and I think I know exactly where he is going to go. Really nice rear charging coming from the Cold One Spear Riders to help crunch this front line just a bit quicker and allow the Saurus to overrun this position. In the back line as well, Cold One Spear Riders once again charging into the Shopsy, trying to hunt those guys down. Skeleton Spearmen are turning to engage, but did get a rear attack on them there. Umbral Tide now flinging some shots into Cetra. He's trying to assassinate the leadership of the Lizardman. Not a bad play here, but he needs his Sphinx bodyguard with him at all times. Otherwise, this is going to happen. He's getting gooned out by the Manticores. Umbral Tide coming in with those shots. And I think he's going to go down, but maybe he can take the Skink with him. Looks like he is terrified him. That Skink will no doubt rally. It looks like the Umbral Tide fully online now. Really nice play here. I really like this pick of a unit. The Sphinx trying to get back to Cetra, but I think it's a little too late. Summon coming down as well, trying to protect him, but he's so low on health right now. 620 health. He's trying his best though. That Skink Priest may well go down, but I don't think the Sphinx is going to be able to carry this game on his back, especially with the Umbral Tide so healthy. Maybe force Sphinx through now on top of him, but he is getting dragged down by the Hopak Cohort and also the Cohort of Sotek. Lots of cohorts roaming around, and down goes Cetra just before this Feral Manticore does in fact start to vanish. So some of you Shopsy in here as well, going to help carve through some Spearmen. But I think this game is now going to be pretty much a victory for the Lizardmen. Umbral Tide, far too healthy, far too much ammo. Going to be able to ping the Sphinx from long range. Not too much he can do about it as well, being slowed down by Chameleon Skinks. Trying to chase off the Skink Priest and force off that leadership to maybe get some late game tear-outs, but it's going to be really tough here. Tomb Guard fighting Hopak Cohort, pretty decent matchup for them, but there is so many Saurus Warriors pushing through, and we have volley after volley coming in from Umbral Tide now, who have been a real MVP in this matchup, doing huge damage across the board. Sphinx desperately trying to chase this guy off. I don't know if it's worth it at this point. He's taken so much damage just by running. The Umbral Tide could probably swoop over as well. They're very quick and do some damage in his rear. And that Skate Priest is probably going to get enough distance to rally anyway and maybe get off 1 or 2 more spells. But he's used his Mana Core summons, so what's the point in really chasing them down? He needs to be supporting these Tomb Guard Hellbirds, who are doing a very decent job trying to hold this battle together. But Battle of Palance is ebbing and flowing in the favour of the Lizard Men, which is always good to see. Good old Dino Boy victory. The Sphinx chasing down that Skate Priest, but is he going to get from this distance? I feel like he probably should. And the Sphinx has in fact given up his chase, and he's just going to try and start crushing the cohort of Sotek, or at least pushing them back a bit for a swanning bag after that priest. As for the main battle, it looks like the Lizardmen have managed to clean up pretty much everything. Yep, looks like that is going to be a victory. Sphinx is just deteriorating now, disintegrating it back into the dust from whence it came. And that is going to be a first game victory for the mighty A-move. Stalkers also have charge defense, very nice. So yeah, really nice build overall by both players. I understand Ninja go for that more defensive approach, which a lot of new players tend to do with those Ushoptis trying to get that long range damage. One of them got caught out of position, but the other one, very good damage. And really nice play, trapping in Crocodile and limiting him to just a measly 2 kills. It's a really nice early catch there, but unfortunately by throwing all his cards at that, he did get swarmed in the rest of the battlefield and slowly dragged down. Really like A-Move's army here. Umbral Tide, I think, were a really nice pick. And a very fast-moving army as well to get into the back line, probably suspecting a few Ushoptis. So there's Ninja to pick now, and we're going to be on Altdorf Outskirts. Boom, there we go. Map I haven't used too much, unfortunately, in tournaments. We're going to be trying to bring it into rotation where possible. So welcome, welcome. I see we've got a few more people watching now. We are finally underway. Had a little bit of a kind of a half-hour delay at the start with disconnecting and all that kind of nice stuff. But we are underway now, and that is, while I think about it, better change the scoreboard. A-Move is 1-up in this first semi-final of this 4-man tournament. Semi-finals and finals are all going to be best of 3. So it looks like Ninja is going to play High Elves and ban Tomb Kings. I know Ninja, I think his favourite faction is indeed the High Elves. Nice to see. But yes, if you are new to my channel, welcome, welcome. We are currently doing a 4-man tournament. This is the first round. And looks like Sam and Ben may be going Empire. Seems most likely. But yes, welcome, welcome. Hope you guys are enjoying. If you are, please do give a big old thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. And also, a puppy is born into the world, which is just a joyous and great thing. And if you're relatively new, feel free to subscribe. We do this type of content every week. So we tend to have 1 King of the Hill and 1 tournament a week. Well, that's why I tend to do where possible. And also a couple of multiplayer videos as well. So it's all good fun. But it's nice to see a lot of people here. So, High Elves versus Empire. Pretty even matchup, I think, in my opinion. There's a lot of guns and whatnot for the Empire to try and deal with any of the big nasty dragons, dragon princes and so forth that the High Elves can bring. But at the same time, High Elves, a lot of range firepower of their own, a lot of cheap range firepower as well in their archers, which can really tear apart handgunners and crossbowmen and so forth. And the infantry fight both have fairly elite builds. It looks like A-Move straight away locks in. I think he probably has a anti-High Elf build ready. But we're going to give the High Elves a little bit of a chance to build their army. Go High Elves! Love these guys! Hell yes! I quite like the High Elves. I mean, I love Alephanar mainly as a character. He is without doubt my my favourite of the High Elves. A little bit edgy, but not quite as edgy as his Dark Elf kin. And it's a very, very cool book. So I'm just going to turn around to try and find it. It's on my bookshelf somewhere. The Shadow King by Gav Thorpe. I cannot recommend it enough. Really super fun and fantastic book. Really dark, but you know, most of Warhammer is, especially 40k. Beer for the Beer God, yes! That is, if you want beer for the Beer God, Daniel, you should have seen, I think it was 2 days ago, or was it yesterday? I mean, a couple of days ago. The King of the Hill stream, we have Ben the Barman, who is in fact a barman, went on a bit of a killing spree. I think he got 5 wins in a row and was working at a bar. So he fully represents the Beer God to his best of his abilities. Yes, yes. If anyone who is in my Discord and it's in the chat. Feel free to drop a link to Discord in the chat for all these new people if they want to get involved in future events, find out when I'm streaming, all that type of good stuff. If you could just drop a link in there, I'm not sure if people have the power to do that, but I think they can. I think I've got my Discord that anyone can invite anyone. Man, Ronan, you should read the book. It is so good. It is so good. Spent 2 hours into a lore video for Aleph. Honestly, it is so good. What looks like Ninja is ready. It's... I read it a while ago. I need to reread it. But yeah, it's very good. What do I think of Malice? Do you mean Malice books or his general fin? Yes, Discord is open for everyone, Disler. It might be... I tried commenting it down below. It's not in the description, but can you see the comments below the video? If so, it may be in there. If not, I will link it to the chat in a second. But yeah, do you mean how do I feel about Malice Darkblade in lore-wise or in-game? I much prefer him in lore, if that is the question. He's very cool. I've read the first 2 books. Or just the first... No, just the first book, I think, in his Omnibus of books, which is really good. So let Ninja just do his clicking, and we will get going. But yeah, if I know Ronan is and Parkman stuff, I don't know how to send Discord links. Lol. No worries. If you go into Discord, I think it's invite in the top left somewhere, and they give you a link. You can copy and paste that link into the description. Well, but it didn't work. No. Poison Ducky. The god. The Duck Dilla Poison. This is the mythical Poison Ducky I was speaking about before. Doesn't seem like YouTube is allowing people to put the Discord link in. I'll try and sort that in a second between the next games and get your link. But if not, send me a message on Discord. My name is a Rubber Duck of War, same as my YouTube channel, and I'll just send you a link on there. Which should be good. So, Poison Ducky, for those who don't know, is a very cool dude. And he, in fact, has his own YouTube channel. And, of course, us ducks need to support each other. So, please do go over there and check his channel out after, of course, my stream. He puts out Total War content on a regular basis. Also, ventures out into other games a little bit more than I do. But, super nice guy. And you should definitely check his stuff out. And when you do, please do comment down below just saying quack, quack, maybe. And like a little winky face. And hopefully he will get the memo that you've been sent by a fellow duck. No, I can't see any of your links in my chat. I will have a little look afterwards, but if not, literally talk to me on Discord. I'm Rubber Duck of War, and I'll send you an invite. And I'll also comment underneath this video once it's finished and fully uploaded the Discord link. Which should be good. So, Aldorf Outskirts, a map I have left forgotten, unfortunately, for a rather long time. Lots of trees and wooded terrain for lots of sneaky stabbings. Also a lot of hills which can really mess up some artillery pieces. Of course, you think when you're over here, oh look, so much flat open ground, lovely for a gun line, and then your opponent approaches here and there's a few little bumps and dips making it really hard for your artillery to hit. So let's have a little look at a moves build. Thank God we loaded in. Yes, yes. It's all going good now. We're on a roll. So, for his main line, we have Spearmen mixed in with some Zealots of Sigma. We have more Spearmen, Sigma's sons themselves, and it looks like that is it for the front line. So, fairly wide, cheap, and cheerful front line overall. For artillery, we do have a Hammer of the Witches, Regiment Great Cannon, which is going to love the fact that there is a Star Dragon on the field. We'll get to that in a little bit. We have Tuners of Empire Knights, or 1 Empire Knight and 1 Reichsguard on the right-hand flank, and that is mirrored on the left-hand flank by 2 units of Reichsguard, in fact. So 3 Reichsguard overall and 1 regular Empire Knight. Being used in a nice defensive formation here. I quite like using Cav defensively. A lot of people feel like you need to use them aggressively, but you do not. They can be quite nice for backline protection. So, we also have the Silver Bullets, Regiment Handgunners, very powerful units. And for Leadership Corps, we have a Light Wizard with Net and Shem's Burning Gaze, nice little combo. And Marcus Wolfheart as well, coming in with all his juicy weapons. So we have Amber Bow, Focus Shot, and Hunter's Snare as well. So it should be pretty interesting to see how this goes. And let's go have a little look at Ninja's build. So once again, I think going for a more defensive approach. So, which is, I think, his favourite way of playing. So we do have 2 Eagle Claw Bolt Throws, going to do nice work to those Knights if they can make some connections. For his front line, and going quite defensive, we have the Spearmen in a nice C shape here. defending that front line cheap and cheerful. In fact, we have 5 units overall. Those guys just there to hold the line while the rest of his army does the damage. Hidden in the woods, we do have 2 units of Lothran Seaguard, a multi-purpose units who have shields, spears, and of course bows. One of my housemates' favourite units, actually, particularly in campaign. And we have some Sisters of Avalon hiding in the back here. Relatively decent melee combatants, surprisingly, but also they fire plasma beams, basically, which do a huge amount of damage. Now, for the main kick of his army, we do have a Mage of Light just with a simple net, a Lariel the Radiant with Star of Avalon, Shield of Thorns, and Earthblood for some nice healing, and a risky Star Dragon pick. Ninja does love his Star Dragons floating up in the sky. This bad boy can cause untold damage on this Empire build as long as he stays out of range of that nasty pesky cannon and of course those handgunners. It looks like in very back here with some Illyrian Reaver archers as well. If A-Move doesn't notice those guys, pushes his army forward to deal with the Eclaw bolt throwers, those guys could just pop into the back, charge in to the Hammer of the Witches and shut it down. And we are underway now. So it looks like just good luck to have funds from A-Move there and we'll get this started. The hunter comes to hunt his prey. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. So, looks like Equal Bolt Throws are starting to move up just to get in a little bit of range. And I'm excited to see Marcus Wolfheart. I haven't seen him in a while, actually. He did get relatively nerfed. Oh, but it looks like this Mage of Light was forgotten. And we have a magic attack coming in. Oh, how on earth? Marcus, you need to practice your aim, my friend. One little shot connected, the rest missed. A real big let off here for Ninja, as his Mage of Light is now sprinting as fast as he can back to the main army. He was a little bit forgotten there. I've unfortunately fallen foul to that as well. The Lane Reaver's pushing out a little bit too early here, I think. I think they should have remained hidden a bit longer, waited for the Empire to force themselves forward. But they're getting some early shots in, just tickling some Reichsguard. But they're now taking shots back by the Silver Bullets, and they are not going to like that as well. These guys need to skirt out of here and get over into the distance and kind of try and dodge this huge Empire Cav Corps. More shots coming in by Marcus Wolfheart now, trying to target down that Mage of Light. But he's missing, and it could be getting messed up quite heavily, as I said previously, by all the hills and rolls in this map. Looks like the cannon has started to fire. These Equal Bolt Throws need to start engaging the Hammer of Witches as soon as possible. And it looks like the Illyrian Reavers were unfortunately caught by some Reichsguard. They're going to get away, but they've taken about half health. Maybe just leave them back there to kind of pester your opponent, maybe get some sneaky shots on the Silver Bullets where possible, and just force that kind of threat constantly in the back of A-Move's mind so he knows they are there. Mage of Light taking some damage, needs to get moving. This guy keeps on getting forgotten about. Ooh, a Marcus though. Terrible accuracy so far. Needs to get moving and over and get protected by this. Great cannon coming in and destroying one of the Equal Bolt Throws here. These guys need to start return firing. There we go. They are going to be firing in that, and they should trade fairly effectively here with the Hammer of the Witches and force opponent forward. Nice shots connecting and flinging some poor Empire men to the ground, but all of the cannons are currently still active, which is very, very key in this artillery matchup. Mage of Light, keep going, bro. Keep going. I don't know what you're doing out here. Oh, Shem's Burning Gaze coming in, but once again, this hill taking most of the damage. This Mage of Light is living on his 9th life right now. He needs to fall back as quickly as possible. And it looks like he is, but he's going to take a shot from Marcus. In the artillery battle, it looks like the Hammer of Witches still has all its pieces online. One of the Equal Bolt Throws is down, but the other one is still active, and it should do fairly decent. Hammer Bow coming in there, doing some very big damage to this Mage of Light, and possibly breaking the leadership there and routing that off without getting any magic of its own active. So it looks like one cannon is gone down now, but getting some pretty decent value up against the Equal Bolt Throws, already destroying one as the army did reposition. Obviously wanted to get to this high ground, didn't want to leave those guys behind. I think it would have been worth taking the fight early on with the Hammer of the Witches and sacrificing the high ground, because otherwise you take huge damage like he is right now. Fortunately, Mage of Light does look like he's going to be gone for the whole battle. 268 health, unlikely to rally, and he hasn't used any of his spells, but he did only bring a net, so he went fairly light there, and we still have Alara the Radiant with all her magic as well. Looks like the Illyrian Reavers did manage to do a sneak attack. Some very nice play here by Ninja, sneaking through, getting on top of the Hammer of the Witches, which is now down to just one model, and its army is in fact routing. The Illyrian Reavers come all the way through there, trailed by so many forces, and come out the other side. Very nice play there. As you see, the Empire, and A-Move did this in the last game as well, is so spread out across the map. It's going to be really hard to try and pick a fight with him. Eelclaw Bolt Thrower is going to be able to do some decent damage to Knights, but I'm sure a move will keep them out of range. Marcus can just come in here and do a little bit of sniping, which he is doing. Looks like the Star Dragon has taken quite a bit of damage as well. Shem's Burning Gaze coming in as well, but once again, oh, one shot! Clubbing that dragon in the face. Didn't look like he was too happy about that, but the accuracy on these Empire have not been good at all. Fortunately, Illyrian Reavers looks like did take a few bullets from the silver bullets and are getting shut down. It looks like the Empire are now starting to close the net over here as well. The Eelclaw Bolt Thrower switched to Spread Shot, which is probably a good idea, but he doesn't really need to shoot at the cannons anymore. Oh no, there's still one active. I'd probably start focusing down Cav, though, if I was him, as they could be a bit of a problem late game. So, Sisters, I see their shots coming from somewhere. Where are they? Where are they? Oh, they're mixed in with these Spearmen hiding underneath the dragon. Getting some early shots in at Spearmen, but you're not going to be doing too much damage. And I don't know why he's gone for the Spread Shot here. Maybe just trying to kill as many of the crew as possible and break them off. The single shot does tend to do better. But Illyrian Reavers do actually rally here. Going to be getting a charge. Is their morale going to hold for them to get this charge in? Leadership is currently shaking, but it's 17, so they're probably going to get in here and start running over these guys. But the silver bullets do turn to engage, and it's going to be a little bit of a samurai charge coming in here. They do take bullets hop on top of these guys, possibly enough to break the Hammer of Witches, but at the same time, those Illyrian Reavers are done for. The main battle is about to get underway here. So, Surround coming in. Looks like that mage did return. Needs to keep him. I'd keep him like right behind a tree over here, as he is taking shots. There's no point just getting him killed right now. Right, Squad, just staring at their opponents, waiting for the infantry to come up, and the infantry fight is probably going to go relatively well for the Empire. They just have a pure amount more men, and that Mage Sorcerer does go down there. But at the same time, he still has the healing and all the spells of Alara, so it's not too big of a loss. Star Dragon does come down and just start thumping some of these naked fanatics. Sons of Sigma do push in onto the Spearmen, but they are having to fight uphill. But there's a big open pocket right here. You can see the Tattersouls are going to be running into and feasting on their flesh. Spearmen attempting to rally and push out and reform their line. Star Dragon doing a very decent job here, though. There's not too much to take out the Star Dragon, apart from, I suppose, Marcus. What am I talking about? He's got a ton. It's Marcus who can do nets and silver bullets, and should do some really decent damage to the Star Dragon. But take the Star Dragon now, fly over and just eat the silver bullets, turn around and eat Marcus. There's no need to kind of get in, up in this mainline engagement. So main kind of front line, Shield of Thorns has been popped on Spearmen, which will probably give them the advantage over the Empire Spearmen. It's going to be a bit of a wet noodle contest. Empire Knights do come charging in, and they are against the armor piercing of Spearmen, but at the same time, not armor piercing, sorry, anti-large, they don't have much armor piercing, so, not going to be too much of a threat. Star Dragon is getting a bit of hill, but does start to break off. I would have literally just pulled him over here, hopped on top of the silver bullets, and then gone and eaten Marcus, and there's not too much I don't think the Empire could have done about it. Maybe bring some cav back. Looks like A-Move has forgotten a unit of Reiksguard in the back there, but that's fine, as the battle seems to be going pretty well for him so far. Anyway, he's just swarming this position as we speak. Reiksguard and Spearmen 2v1 and some Spearmen over here. We can see some Reiksguard coming to charge into the main blob fight now, pushing their way through the rest of their men, not quite reaching the high elf spear line here. Sisters do fall back to reposition a bit and get some shots in, but there's so many Empire all over the place. This flank has fallen as Spearmen desperately, I don't know how that guy got sent so far, desperately try and retreat. But Sister Avalon, I think, are going to get caught now by some Empire Knights. And when those guys go down, I think it could be game over. Star Dragon does rally, so maybe, does he have a regrowth? No, he's got an Earthblood. Pop an Earthblood on that fella. Get him back here and try and shut down Marcus. And, oh, looks like, okay, nice play here. Alariel, pop on top of Marcus, shut him down. Dragon, come over here, shut down Silver Bullets, and you may have a chance, but there's a lot of Empire Knights and Reiksguard roaming around, and I think they'd probably surround and shut down the Dragon. The rest of the formation, unfortunately, for the High Elves has basically been surrounded and started to be dragged down now. Winning in a few dotted engagements for the most part. There is just swarms of these filthy Empire bringing down the much more regal High Elves. This game looks so good, by the way. Every time I do a zoom in shot, I always forget, because when I play, I tend to play from about this angle. Zooming in, you see so much cool animations and attacks in this game. Detail is really nice. I'm very happy I invested in getting a big computer, or a relatively good computer, so I can play on high graphics and all that good stuff. Marcus and Lariel in a melee combat. Not going to go well for either of them, it's just a little bit of a limp. But Silver Bullets are now firing into the rear of Lariel, and she's going to get absolutely obliterated, and that is going to be game. So a 2-0 for A-Move there. And very good. Very good overall. So up next we are going to have Park Map and Ronin. So if you guys are in the chat, the lobby is up. It's called like Death Before Dishonour or something very simple. Password 123, and we'll see you guys in a second. But very well played to both players. And A move is through. Really nice build overall. I like the heavy cav contingent he went with. And also nice to see Marcus Wolfheart as well. Good for sniping out those pesky high elves. And the one cannon isn't overpriced either. And not committing too much to the artillery game, which can be risky against high elves and the Eagle Claw bolt throwers. So yeah. Let's give them a GG. Wow, Dragon is bad here. Yeah, Dragon against Empire is super risky, but at the same time, can cause a lot of terror and all that good stuff. So very nice to see, and we are going to be on River and Maxon. And we'll get the others two in a second. Let these guys just chat for briefly. I'll have a little look through chat, see what I missed. That was a super fun game. Marcus was a little drunk. He definitely was a little drunk, bro. He was missing most of his shots. What's up, Aerocrastic Man? Good to see you. Worst Shem I've ever seen. Honestly, he missed so many. Shems needed Gobbo fire and it would work then. Honestly, those Shems and the fire in general was just so bad at aiming. That was bad on my part. Nah, man. Good games around. Cool. So just going to quickly kick a move, boop, and we'll get the other boys in. So we do have the Mighty Ronin representing the Extreme Meme team, Hajime ones, and Park Map as well, representing all the parks in the world. And let's alter the scoreboard as well to represent that. So, boop, there we go, that was 2-0 to A move. And let's change this up. So we have Ronin and Park Map in this second semi-final. So one of them will have to face the mighty A move in the finals, which is a scary opponent, but I'm sure these guys are up for the cause. Yo, yo! Both these guys have played it on the channel before in the recent King of the Hills. I believe Park Map as well did play in a Death Before Dishonour in one of the first seasons, so he's been around for a while. I think we've been, the channel in general has been going for about 6 months now, which is pretty cool. Oh, looks like the stream has frozen on my phone. Just load up, make sure I haven't missed any chat. Looks like we are all good. Hopefully. Yes. Cool, cool. So who picks and bans first? Let me check on the Discord of who it was. It is Park Map to pick first. We'll get this underway. Both these guys are very good players. Yo-yo isn't a great in, it's a kind of tie. Well, hello there, good sir. Nice to see you, Batman. Did you stream a Clan Wars recently? I need to check it out. Someone was telling me about it. I believe Ronin may have even played in those Clan Wars. Someone was telling me about it, and I swear it was on Aerocrastic's Twitch, which I highly recommend you guys go and check out after this. A very good player overall, and huge in the multiplayer scene. So, Park Map is going to go Dark Elves and ban Wood Elves. Boo! I want to see some Wood Elves. I am a massive fan recently of the Wood Elf Rush build. Going to be taking a similar type of build, not full-on Rush, hopefully to Lawmaster of Sotek's next tabletop tourney. Mixed up a little bit. Semi-Rush, not so heavy as I used to go on, like, 3 units of Wild Riders, Sisters of Form, plus those of Dryads. Got a little bit of range mixed in as well. River Maxon, super fun map. It's always good to see a Lizman map, which is actually competitive, and so they do struggle in that kind of regard just a little bit. For France! So we have the Empire being represented here. That's rude, Rubber. It is indeed, but I'm a duck, so I don't understand human customs, unfortunately. All I understand is bread for the bread god, and how to kind of nip at people's heels who don't feed me. Cool, so we let those guys sort out their matchups. Gonna have a little sip of my water. Just open up the flask. Yeah, it's good. And we'll see who has to fight out to meet a move in the final. I am not sure if these guys have faced off against each other before, but there's going to be a bit of an Italian civil war, I believe, between these two guys. And it should be some good fun overall. In this matchup, I probably favour... I don't play Empire or Dark Elves too much myself. I think it's fairly balanced overall. Both of them quite versatile. Empire, one of those factions who I believe have like an unlimited ceiling, in a sense that they just get better and better with a better and better player. Like, a lot of people originally used to think they were quite weak, but I think they have so much versatility in the hands of a really good player. Honestly, you can take them to kind of whatever heights. A good example is Darv's plays. Super good Empire player, and just keeps getting better with them. And Dark Elves, very similar as well, super versatile, have an answer to pretty much everything. Not many hard counters in their return, so really good luck, have fun by both of them. Nice to see good sportsmanship. And as I said earlier, anyone who does want to get involved, do message me on Discord. I'll get you invited in, and to future tournament stuff. But the main thing to remember is it's called Death Before Dishonour, because sportsmanship is the main thing, and you should lose before you dishonour yourself, basically. Bonjour, Poison Docké. But yes, River Maxon doesn't actually have a river on it, which is a little bit surprising, but I believe we can see it over in the distance. Oh, just going around there. Is that the river? Looks like a dried up river a little bit, but overall, super fun map. So there is a lot of trees on the periphery around the outsides, which is nice. You can do some sneaky stabbings from there. There's also these two huge shot blocking woods on either flank as well. Also just on this one flank. And that is really useful, especially if you're someone like Lizardmen and you take a lot of big dinosaurs and you know your opponent's going to have a lot of range. You can just alter your course to path through as many trees as possible and catch them off guard. At the same time, there's a nice open plain here as well if you want a big old mosh pit in the middle. Just lots of blood and thunder affairs. And at the same time, there's some high raised platforms on the right hand flank with a dip in the middle. You'll often see people put artillery up here or try and wing cav round the side, swoop around the outside and either dip down into the middle or go all the way around and try and get into the flank of your opponent. At the same time, we have some super awesome Lizardman architecture in the background, some laser beams firing up from their pyramids. Now, in the end times, I think these became spaceships. That sounds weird, and it is weird. I'm not sure how legit that is, but I'm pretty sure someone told me that. So if anyone is quite lore knowledgeable in chat, did that actually happen? And if so, what on earth is going on with the world? So, Ronin is in charge of the Empire, and for front line, he has triple silver chevroned spearmen. These guys will hold for a very, 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 very long time here, but still relatively cheap and cheerful compared to more elite troops. He's been spreading them out in a nice long line there. So he's going for quite a heavy cav contingent. We have 2 units of Empire Knights, which should do relatively decent. They're pretty cheap and cheerful as far as Knights go, and they will struggle up against cold ones. But at the same time, if he's just going for kind of mass and constantly spamming at those charges, they should do fairly good. We have 3 units of Outriders as well to do some long-range firepower and generally be a pain. For his leadership, we do have a Jade Wizard coming in with Regrowth, Earthblood, and a Power Stone there. And he's going to be dropping as many heals as possible on the man, the myth, the undefeatable legend, Mr. Karl Franz, who is bringing Galmaraz and his Rune Flang, and he's going to be flying up in the air there. Underneath him, we have some Reiksguard and Demigryph Knights with Halberds as well. So very fast army with all huge amounts of cav, and just some spearmen to hold the line down. Now let's go have a little look over here at Parkmarp's Dark Elf build. Frontline also gone fairly cheap and cheerful, which you'll often see with Dark Elves. Dread Spears mixed in with Bleak Swords, who will do a decent work up against normal state troops, but our triple silver chevron. I'm interested to see how that now plays out. Up in a little bit of Vanguard, we do have Slesh's Harvesters, the regiment now Doomfire Warlocks, super competitive pick, who do come with a Soul Stealer and Word of Pain. We have some Cold War Knights in the background, and let's have a little look. We have the Sisters of Singing Doom, around Witch Elves who can rampage, and triple Scourge Runner Chariots here. These guys are considered pretty OP in general by multiplayer, but they have been nerfed in this beta, so it'll be interesting to see how they play out. We have Marathi up in the sky, and 2 units of Dark Riders with repeater crossbows. So let's get this battle started. Both forces are immediately marching towards each other, and this is going to be a swift and bloody affair, I feel, with both armies crashing into one another. Outriders are going to be trying to trade fire with the Scourge Runner Chariots, but Scourge Runners, of course, do a decent amount back as well, but fire coming in, doing a tiny little bit of poke damage. Either way, nothing decisive yet, but I think overall the Scourge Runners will get the better of that engagement. Karl Franz not wanting to get too close to those chariots just yet, and we're going to see some nice cycle charging probably coming in from the Empire Knights onto the front, so never be scared to charge into the front of your enemy. Even if they're braced, you can just charge in there, get that nice charge bonus, especially against Bleak Swords, send Dark Elves flying, and simply turn around and retreat out again before they can, really have too much time to react. Marathi was floating over, but nothing too special. Squadron of Chariots definitely getting the best of that engagement, forcing off one unit of Outriders, but they should be back. And a heavy cav contingent here, pushing through this left-hand flank, going to try and shut down the Cold War Knights and hop on top of these Squadron of Chariots. But a nice play here by Partmap, bringing these Dread Spears over just to force those guys back, and now Karl Franz is taking a rather large amount of damage. Dark Riders on the outflank swooping in should do decent damage to these Outriders as well, but need to be a little bit wary of Empire Knights coming in, and the front lines are engaged. Sisters of Sin and Doom pushing through the little pocket there, trying to get on top of these Outriders, but I don't think they're going to quite do it. And as for the front line, it's going to be so interesting to see how these Spearmen fare, and it looks like for the most part they are winning their engagements, which is rare for an Empire front line. Karl Franz needs to get moving, buddy. You're getting shot by 3 Squadron Chariots, going to do huge damage here, and also, Slash's Harvest is coming in and getting a nice Soul Sealer as well. Reichsguard and Demigryphs need to charge in there. Oh, Karl Franz, so much damage being taken place there. Obviously, his micro was focused somewhere else. It's a lot easier to see from my point of view. Outriders can now probably focus down some Sisters of Sin and Doom pretty effectively, as they're going to be charging into the back of some Spearmen. But the main engagement right here, big engagement here. The Empire need to win this. Karl Franz does get an extended Earthblood pop to him, pops all his mighty buffs, and in comes Marathi, who is a fairly decent melee combatant because of her debuffs and her halberd. Karl needs to be super careful here. Such Harvesters are going to break fairly shortly, but the Demigryph Knights flee for the hills, abandoning Franz, and the Reichsguard are holding the line, but Karl Franz is not, and it looks like he may well be off. Squadron of Chariots just were not shut down. Outriders tried their best, and these guys are doing huge amounts of work here. As for the front line, faring slightly better for the Empire. They have managed to push through in multiple sections. Empire Knights helping out as well. Maybe get some cycle charging into the back of these Dread Spears and just try and win the fight as decisively as possible. Looks like Sisters Sing and Doom are going down as well. He needs all his infantry alive to try and push away those Squadron of Chariots and then bog down Marathi and her forces. Karl fighting in the trees, not really where he wants to be, but he is getting a regrowth popped on him with a he's got almost a hell of a lot of health back all of a sudden. Could get him back into this game. Balanced power though is swooping and ebbing in the favour of the Dark Elves. They are losing the infantry game, and up in the high ground here we do have Empire Knights trying to shut down Dark Riders. At least they're wasting some of their ammo, I suppose, but they're not going to be able to catch them, and they will slowly be dragged down. These guys are still have a relatively large amount of ammo. Empire Knights being forced off, and Reichsguard as well. The Squadron Chariots still fairly healthy ammo-wise, and not in too bad shape either. The balance power has started to normalise a little bit with all that healing that has gone down on the Mr. Franzmeister. Outriders also fairly healthy here, so they can get some really nice shots into Marathi here. If he can snipe her out, he might be able to force a lot of terror outs, as the Dark Elf infantry is just being deleted here. Only the skirmish elements really left alive. Franz, get back in the air, needs to stay away from these Squadron of Chariots, and he needs to find a way to shut them down, but it is pretty tough. We saw the Outriders don't do the best job of that. Unfortunately, a little bit of lag, but it looks like it is starting to subside. And these Spearmen in the trees doing their best, but they will slowly be dragged down. Marathi needs to stay close to these Chariots and make sure they get a little bit of protection. Outriders are firing some shots in here, but these guys don't seem to take much damage at all from them. Spearmen getting shot in the back now, but they should be able to clear up these Dread Spears, and over in the distance, Bleak Swords slowly being dragged down as well. In the back line, we have some rallying Empire Knights. Maybe come back here and try and shut down the Squadron of Chariots. Dark Riders and Slash's Harvesters just, quite happy feasting on Empire Knights in the distance. So trading back and forth, it's going to become a little bit of a skirmish game here, but the Squadron of Chariots are definitely going to win it, but they are running really low on ammo now. Maybe try and force them to waste ammo on Spearmen and so forth. Use the Outriders to focus down Marathi. Big Soul Sealer coming down and catching a few units. Looks like some of them managed to react in time. And it looks like we have a Melkov's Mystify and Miasma as well, slowing down Mr. Franz to hopefully allow those Squadron of Chariots to get a little bit better accuracy on him. But it's going to be tough. I think the Empire might have been able to weather the storm here for the most part. And when these Chariots run out of ammo, yes, they're going to be able to cycle charge Spearmen and so forth, but Franz is going to be an absolute nightmare to deal with. We still have this Jade Wizard active as well, which is really nice. So he's got that continuous healing. Looks like he's at his healing cap now. Do you have anything else, buddy? Nope. Okay, he's going to be there for the leadership overall. Looks like some of the Chariots are out of ammo now. They're going to be doing a nice charge in the front line, running down Spearmen. But the Outriders might even want to pin them in here and allow the Spearmen to do some damage. Drop down with Franz as he is doing that and start crushing those guys. Now, Parkmap played this really well for the most part, but what does he have to take down Franz? Cold One Knights, I suppose, are going to need to be chucked in here. Looks like we do have a Reichland Runefang going down as well as an Earthblood. One of the chariots is offline. It is in fact the Regiment Renowned version. Cold One Knights trying their best with the anti-large to pull down the Franzmeister, but he's getting in there. He's a rock-hard Runefang and Garmaraz right now, and he is crushing the skulls of those poor Cold One Knights. Dark Elves chucking everything they have into this. Probably going to be trying to pop down as well his Soul Stealer if he has one. Word of Pain popped on Karl Franz, but it doesn't seem to matter. Dark Riders can do a decent amount of damage from long range still, but I don't think they're going to be able to do enough. Karl Franz probably should just pop up into the air now, threaten Marathi, force her off as well. So he might just want to be dealing with the Snatch Harvesters and these chariots while he has them pinned in. In the trees, Jade Woods are just cackling and chilling out. Trying to looks like chase off the Ravagers of Rakaf, but he's getting a little bit stuck up by some trees, and he may meet some rather vengeful spearmen now. Balance Power now swooping in favour of the Empire, so a nice turnaround so far by Ronin. Looks like the Squadron Chariots being terrified and forced off here as well. Might be worth sacrificing one unit of Outriders just to escort them off the battlefield and ensure they do not come back. Most of the Dark Elves have been broken. Karl Franz going to be trying to dodge the, called the Wand of Kadon, I want to say it is. That's going to be coming in from Marathi. He is trying to hunt her down as we speak. Might want to just pop on some Dark Riders as well. Yeah, in comes the shot. Spinning as he goes, looks like he's pretty much fine. Marathi has been forced off now. She's starting to rout from that constant fire from the Outriders, and really nice play by Ronin. Very impressive this comeback so far. And I think, I don't want to call this too early, I think the Empire are going to be a little bit too tough a nut to crack with Karl Franz the Mighty. Can just kind of swoop around the battlefield, pick his fights where he wants, hunt down these chariots and destroy them. Does come in nice rear attack there. Bounds through and hunts down and kills a couple of those poor horses there. There's not too much the Dark Elves can do about this. Try and get their damage where they can with the Dark Riders. Has Marathi rallied? She has, but she's very scared at the moment, wavering at all fronts. One volley from the Outriders will probably force her down. Karl Franz with a bit of backline protection. Just needs to hop on top of these Scourge Runners and shut them down. And then use whatever you can. Use absolutely anything but Franz to waste the ammo of these Dark Riders, and you should be good. Outriders forcing their way over to Marathi. Don't know if she's noticed. Looks like Dark Riders haven't. They're trying to assist, but a volley does come in. Down to just 240 health here. Ooh, is she going to survive? Her leadership is down to 1 at the moment, but she's got a little bit of distance between themselves right now. So she should be fine, at least for the meantime. Karl Franz once again scaring off a Scourge Runner chariot. He's taking a few shots in the back now as well to try and ensure they don't come back. The Franzmeister just pop down on the Spearmen, force them off the battlefield completely. It looks like the Dark Riders are starting to run out of ammo. We are getting a Doom and Darkness on this Outriders to try and force them off the field. But I just can't see any way back for the Dark Elves. They have nothing to kill the mighty Franzmeister. So some Spearmen have managed to catch some Empire Knights and also some Outriders, which is a little bad pick. They might be able to pin them down, do some damage, try and help swoop that balance power back into the kind of the more even route. Karl Franz now just proudly and almost arrogantly just swans in to the rest of the Archfire. No, it's not going to do too much damage. Starting to force these guys off, and he can probably now just pop up and finish off Marathi. But looks like they're going for a big Alpha Strike. Everything in on the Franzmeister, trying to hunt him down. We are getting a spell pop down as well. A Melkov's Mystifying Miasma. He's popped down your ground. He's completely isolated from his forces and surrounded. May even be worth trying to get Marathi in there for some cycle charging in the back. But he's been completely left on his own here. Galmaraz and the Reichland Runefang has been popped though, so he should be able to do a huge amount of damage to this. Bring over the Outriders, Ronin. You need to bring these guys over and assist where possible. As Karl Franz is taking a lot of damage, down to 1,200 health, and he's wavering. The guy who holds the hammer strong for all of mankind is wavering, even though the balance power is in his favour. Marathi coming in for a nice cycle charge now as well, popping Deadly Onslaught, but she gets deleted by Franz, who just slaps her, and with that, the rest of the Dark Elves break. If that didn't go through, honestly, that was so close. That was so close. Was it worth sending Marathi in there? I think for a rear attack, possibly. I was kind of egging him on to do it. But she got deleted by one big slap from Deathclaw there and shut down. Two really interesting armies. Part map sticking to the Scourge Runner chariots, even though they did get a recent nerf and going very heavy on the skirmish cav, whereas Ronin going much more heavy on the kind of hard-hitting cav, but still bring a bit of skirmish as well. Really interesting front line as well with the Silver Chevron Spearman. 57 kills by Carl France. He put that game on his back and carried. Oh my god, I hate those chariots. I agree. GG. Super close game. The next map is going to be... Why, if I can find it. The Orgum Shard, which I believe is under... I think it starts with the... There we go. The Orgum Shard. And we'll update the scoreboard. So that was 1-0 to Ronin so far. Check Discord, make sure we're all good. Cool. I've just seen your message, Disler. I will send you a quick invite to my Discord. Boop. Cool. And we are back in the game. So Ronin is going Wood Elves and banning High Elves. Yes, we're seeing some Wood Elf action. So what do you guys think of that? That was pretty damn fun. Hey! We have a move in the chat. It happened during the end times, and Portman Lizardmen leaders left on their starships. Did Krogar survive? Yes, join the Discord, bro. Okay, but not today. I don't have the balls for this today. I'm a Skaven Craven. No, what's meant? You don't have to play today by joining, but join the Discord. Send me a message on there. My name is Rubber Duck of War, and I will send an invite. If you don't want to do that, that's completely cool. I will leave a link in the comments down below. After the video is fully loaded, but I think YouTube seems to like taken away hyperlinks that kind of lead to different places, and probably because I'm not a YouTube like affiliate yet. However, I need 1,000 subs before that happens, so there's lots of kind of nerfs unfortunately they bring to me. Oh damn, Franz Marshall, that was so close, man. That was like so tight. Well, when he uses a rear charge and goes right for his face. What's up, Noob for Life? How's it going, almighty king of the noobs? We need to get you back in this, man. We need to get you on a into a tournament. Oh, pot map dropped. No. I should quit and rejoin. I see Tarantula Coast. Okay. I'm on the right one, yes. Alright, kill. Kill. So we have Wood Elves and Palm Up. Let's let to decide. Those guys sort that out, which is perfect. We want Skaven. We see some Skaven action. Yes, lots of Skaven involved. Yeah, Noob for Life is actually a previous champion of a Death Before Dishonour. I think winning the last one from Season 2, I believe. Or the second to last one. Zeus might have won the last one, I'm not sure. Cool, looks like they are still sorting out who they're going to be. Me, legend, you're too kind, sir. Noob for Life, you know it. You already know. You're the king of Noob Mountain for a very, very long time. Looks like part map is going Bretonia, the ultimate counter to what else did we ban? High Elves. Another good counter, unfortunately, to my favourite of the elf factions, the Wood Elves. There is some interesting plays you can do against Bretonia here. You can go for a Durfu Death Star, or bring a load of Glade Riders, Hawk Riders, couple of dragons, snipe out the Bretonian peasant bowmen with your Glade Riders and so forth, and then get those big alpha strikes on their cav with breath attacks. You know, you can let them down, breath them, all that type of stuff. And it is possible, but it's tough. I'm scared by the fact you didn't ban them, but I'm gonna try, bro. Yeah, maybe Ronin knows something we don't know. That can happen. There's also got a few people watching. Welcome. Hope you're all having a good time. If you are, please do consider mashing that big old thumbs up button. Not only does it make me happy and help the channel, it also brings a puppy into the world and a kitten now. We've upgraded. Extended my contract with the puppy and kitten making people, and kittens are now born into the world as well. And feel free to subscribe to stick around for more content like this. Cool, looks like Ronin may be ready. And sorry for plugging myself over and over again, but it does really help out. It does indeed. Gonna be an interesting fight. Wood Elves, it's always a tough one picking Wood Elves when it's only a pick one, ban one matchup, because they have quite a few counters. Bretonians and High Elves in particular are quite good against them. I actually really like taking Wood Elves against Empire, because a lot of people try and gun you down rather than... If Empire go heavy cav, then it's really tough. But And I also quite like them against Skaven at the moment. Thanks, got some greenskin action I'm going to send in soon. Been taking a break from my lizard boys. Nice, good to see some greenskin stuff. Every day is Lizardman Day, so take us displeased. You're damn right, Nymph Life, you're ashamed of yourself. You've lost your legend status in like 2 comments. Lizardmen, it's always a good day to be a lizardman. So Ronan is ready, just waiting on part map. Can I have a quick sip for my flask? So apologies for the squeaking noises. That's the good stuff. I say that like I'm drinking like some like really decent whiskey. It's like I'm just having water. Still slowly recovering from the cold. But yes. So to Henwin in chat, which is a move, which is also the other name he's on here for those people just so they don't get confused. Is Lizardmen your favourite faction, or is it Dwarfs? For some reason, I always thought it was Dowie, but you seem to represent Lizardmen quite hard. Hey, commentator played today too. I'm probably not going to do today, but I will probably enter myself into one of these tournaments soon. There was a time I only played Lizardmen for weeks on end. It's the only faction to play, really. I've actually been enjoying the Arcosotec recently against Tomb Kings. Sounds stupid, but like it really helps you clear out their chaff. And people don't expect it, plus it's a bit of fun. Hey, there's a day that goes by that I don't watch or play my beloved Scaly Boys. Fair enough. Okay, I'm gonna let you off. You can keep your status for now. Also, I don't know why you're still called Noob for Life. Because I believe you took a game of someone, maybe Worsha, in one of my tournaments, and you said if you did, you were going to change your name to Pro for Life. So I'm upset. Yeah, I know you're Dowie OG. It's always good to see Dowie represented as well. I feel like they don't get enough love on this game. So, Orgrim Shard, which is a quest map for, what's his name? Nakai the Wanderer. Super cool map. I'm not sure how balanced it's going to be, but I thought I'd try it out for this tournament. I think it's fairly good. Real bumpy terrain, much like we saw on Outdoor Outskirts, so a lot can mess up shots quite heavily. There's a few pathways as well. You can take the high ground, some trees, and lots of hills around the periphery and so forth for sneaky stabbings and extra awesome stuff. We have some really cool... this looks very British, actually. Ancient kind of British, not architecture, but like stone structures, much like... Stonehenge and so forth, but with much, much cooler statues nearby of skeletons holding sacrificial blades. Awesome stuff. Let's have a little look at Ronan, who could take this to a 2-0 and meet the mighty A-move in the finals. So for a frontline, he's gone for Eternal Guard, hasn't gone for the super souped-up versions this time with the silver chevrons, just one with one bronze chevron and the rest basic guys. A couple of units of Dryads as well for a little bit of added punch and damage. Heavy cav contingent over here. 3 units of Wild Riders, including one of my favourite units in the whole game, very thematic and cool looking, the Wild Hunters of Kurnos. Now, the one thing I don't like is their colour scheme was cooler pre-patch before they changed the glowy sticks. I like the glow sticks, but I would like their dark brown kind of shields back. I think it looked cool. But very cool unit, anti-large, frenzy, forest stalker, all that awesome good stuff. And of course, all those guys can Vanguard. Now in the front, he has gone for 3 units of Way Watchers as well. So going for a bit of a traditional Way Watcher, trying to snipe out those high-value targets and protect them with the Wild Rider approach. For his leadership core, we do have a Spellslinger of Beasts, Manticore, and Flock of Doom Summon, Power Stone as well, just to help out. And then we have a Glade Lord on a horse. Very interesting here. Literally just bring the prey of Nothrama, trying to stop those cav in their tracks, nuke them with Way Watchers, and protect them with Wild Riders. Gonna be tough playing like a traditional Wood Elf build there up against Bretonnians. As we can see, I've got so much cav to deal with. This is going to be a really tough fight. So, in the front line, we have the most OP unit in the entire game. Peasant mobs. These guys will destroy pretty much Temple Guard in one-on-one combat. I have seen it happen. Do not question me. You just have to trust me there. But for the main battle line, he does have Spearmen at arms. Looks like most of them with good old shields for a front line. Cheap and cheerful just to stop arrow fire. And they do, relatively okay against Eternal Guard. They'll lose, but they'll hold their own a little bit. And then we have so much goddamn cav. Knights of the Realm, Knights Errant, Knights Errant, Knights of the Lionheart, so ready around Knights of the Realm there, that nice anti-large bonus. More Knights Errant and more Knights of the Realm with anti-large. They would do very well against the Wild Riders. Another unit and another unit of Knight Errants there. Crazy amounts of cav overall. Damsel of Beast with a Manticore Summon and Flock of Doom, so maybe it's a Manticore on Manticore action. And we have King Leon Kerr up in the skies. We need to be careful that he doesn't get sniped out. We will get underway. Good luck and have fun by both players. That's always nice to see. And Wild Riders taking to the trees, and looks like the Waywatchers are pushing forward. Is the rest of the army going to advance, or is he going to try and play it defensive? I think they need to move up a little bit, because these Waywatchers have a long way to retreat. If those, it's like he just send forth the cav right now and run these guys over. This part of his army needs to move up and help protect. Now, hopefully he's taking these guys off fire at will. It doesn't look like he has, so they're going to be wasting shots into peasant mobs, and peasant mobs, like, oh dear god, that poor peasant, look how many arrows are in them, will obviously die to the Waywatchers, but you have so limited ammo, you do not want to be wasting them on such troops. Instead, we have a nice volley coming in, some Knights Errants, much better target, still not best, but not too bad overall. Getting some huge damage and nuking those guys down rather quickly. But you really want to be focused down at King Leon Kerr or Knights of the Realm. Wild Riders can deal with Knights Errants fairly handily. Balance power, nice and dead, even as we do get underway. And it looks like he is going to try and sit back and fall back with his Waywatchers. That's such a long way to travel against all this cav. A little bit of lag, but hopefully should subside. Ooh, 1 or 2 shots come up into King Leon Kerr from the Glade Lord. Nice to see on a horse, I don't see that too often. Knights Errant are being pinned down a little bit, but nothing too threatening now. The peasant mobs are just going to be pushing the Waywatchers back. Looks like they are trying to stand and shoot a little bit. Knights Errant taking a little bit of beating. Looks like they're trying to focus down this unit. I'm not sure why. It looks like the hill messed up their line of kind of firing arc there a little bit. We're going to get some early charge as well from Wild Riders pushing in, but there's so much cover that can counter-charge. These guys need to be a bit careful. Wild Hunters of Cornus need to be aware there's some Knights Realm there. If they're going to charge them, they need to do it, and maybe bring over 1 unit of Waywatchers to assist. And it looks like they are taking the engagement. Both forces clashing in, both anti-large. Wild Riders taking a huge beating for some early shots, but Waywatchers Kobeing some shots long distance over there, going to be landing on these Knights. Oh, they're only Knights. Oh, no, Knights around. Yeah, I thought they were Knights Errant Brief there, doing some decent damage, but also some friendly fire. So probably a very good trade for the Batons actually getting these guys offline, even though they are losing a unit themselves. In the back, we do have Knights of the Lionheart pushing in. Looks like the Glade Lord desperately trying to get in there and defend these Waywatchers. And counter charge coming in from the Wild Riders as well. So he's done a fairly good job so far protecting this back line, but he's done a decent damage across the board to all these Knights, but hasn't managed to get too many offline. Does summon a Manticore to do some damage. Looks like the Wild Hunters did force off the Knights of the Realm, and are going to try and dart back now as well. But unfortunately, the Glade Lord is now completely pinned in with Cav. Needs to maybe net the Cav and try and force out through these peasants as quickly as possible, because if he gets surrounded, he is completely done there. Knights Errant forcing their way back onto these Waywatchers, completely getting on top of them here, and ignoring the main battle line, but he should be able to focus fire them down if he's careful. But also his nasty king getting in there. Maybe a net or two could really help him out here. Manticore on Manticore summon action that could be going underway here. In the background, Wild Hunters forcing off some Knights Errant, should do a decent job there. The front lines haven't fully engaged yet. It looks like all the Batons are getting bunched up on 1 unit, only 2 units of Wild Riders. It's fairly good for them, you know, bunch up on those guys and hunt them down. Manticore does hop on top of the Glade Lord here as well. Waywatchers need to be active and shooting the king. This other unit looks like it's probably going to break with 1 more volley. There they go. So maybe either net that Manticore to get away from him, or try and pin it down with Eternal Guard, or net the king and get some decent shots in there while he's fighting the Manticore, and the battle could still be, you know, it's still fairly even. Looks like there is a spell coming down again, trying to attack the Manticore, and another summon by the Wood Elves here, summon another one. Glade Lord needs to try and escape where possible, but he keeps running in to this one brave knight holding him down, and gets a decent shot onto the king. Eternal Guard in the back here, trying to protect the Waywatchers where possible. Knights of the Realm are slowly being dragged down, but the main infantry fight definitely going in favour of the Batonians. Nice extended Flock of Doom coming down there, doing some decent damage. But there's a lot of relatively healthy Knights forcing their way through the front line, which could cause untold problems. In the back line, we do have Wild Riders and Knights Errant kind of fleeing next to each other at the moment, looking at each other thinking, you know what, it's not worth it. Wild Hunter's done a decent job so far in the back, scaring off and completely shattering some Knights Errant. Looks like this Manticore is going to be disappearing soon, and King Leon Kerr has been netted in place, so Waywatchers trying to fire some shots over there. 2 Manticores come in, Glade Lord also charging in, trying to snipe this guy out. Could be a real good way into the game for the Wood Elves, who do actually nudge ahead on the balance of power. Now, if this Manticore can stay long enough, which looks like it might be able to, and just chase off the king completely off the map, that'd be a really nice pick. But there's so many Batons left alive that they may be able to shut down these Weight Watchers. A lot of that power of balance is in their ammunition and so forth. And we have Knights of the Realm. It looks like 2 units of Knights of the Realm. Well, one being the Regiment Round version. Are now getting into this backline on top of these Weight Watchers. They need to flee to some Eternal Guard, get some nets play to help them out here. No, looks like Manticore went after the Knights of the Realm instead and then rampaged into them, and has allowed the king to come back, which could be a big misplay here by the Wood Elves. They need to force those guys off, and now they have 2 cav in their backline as well. Frontline has actually slowly been won by the Dryads, just because of the sheer amount of Flock of Dooms which has been coming down here. This Glade Lord has been attempted to be sniped the entire game by Manticores and the king, but he's done a pretty good job at keeping him alive so far. He needs to get out of there as soon as possible though. A nice crossfire coming in by the Weight Watchers, focusing down the troops which have got into their back line. So if one's in combat, the other 2 are at least shooting. Eternal Guard brought over as well to force these guys off. Keeps duking that for a Manticore as long as possible, which is very nice. Dryads up to 63 kills on 1 unit and 61 are mulching their way through peasants and spearmen. Wild Hunters of Kurnos still alive, 68 kills. They've done very good for themselves considering that initial engagement they took. Which they did win, but they suffered a lot of damage. Fortunately, it looks like the Glade Lord is terrified and going to be running for the hills. Hopefully for Ronan, it's going to come back, but he's very fast near the edge of the map, but he does come back. Flock of Doom coming down on these Weight Watchers as they do shoot some shots into Knight Errants, and it looks like these Knights around will probably be fleeing off the map. The other unit of Weight Watchers is very beaten up, but managed to get the Knights of Lionheart fleeing as well. He's forced off most of the cav here, and he is slowly winning the infantry fight, but the king, if he can come over here, destroy the infantry as quick as possible, rally all the Bretonian infantry, you can probably just swarm the Weight Watchers. They don't have too much punch left in them. Fortunately, for part of that, Manticore has rampaged into some Eternal Guard. Not a fight he wants to be picking. He wants to be getting into the back on top of these Weight Watchers. They're now probably going to try and snipe out that Damsel if they can. Just use Glade Lady here to chase off the Knights Errant if possible. Wild Riders coming back to the fray as well. So, what Ronan needs to do now, push up these Weight Watchers, get them active, and just hunt down the king, force him off the field. In that way, he should probably be able to win the majority of the infantry fight. Some big beam of shots coming in, but load of misses, 1 or 2 hits there. Wild Hunters of Kurnos charging in, trying to keep it on low on the ground, getting some decent attacks in as well. Lion Shield is popped though, getting that massive missile and magic resistance, 44%. He has been netted though, and he will still take a ton of damage from Weight Watchers. Big shots coming over here now, but it looks like the shield is still active. Giving that minus 22% resistance though as well. And down to 500 health, looks like he is in fact floating back up into the sky by some dark magic here. I'll probably throw a couple of those shots off as they go very high and wide there by the Weight Watchers. But a couple more shots coming in now. The shield is down to 300 health. 1 more volley should do it. Big Flock of Doom coming down though, and these bunched up Wood Elves getting some really nice value. Balance power still so even. Shots coming in. Can they force the king off? 84 health. It is crazy close. 1 more shot. 84 health, and he may be able to rally and come back. Now, the Glade Lord should probably actually chase. He's got a little bow. Just force your way through. Be a little bit careful. You don't want to get caught by anything. And get 1 or 2 shots in there just to ensure he doesn't come back. Now, is there enough Eternal Guard? Wild Hunters are really bad. Is there enough Eternal Guard to win this infantry fight? I'm not so sure now. Shots coming in at this Damble, doing some decent damage. And the king has rallied in the back there. Oh, this is so goddamn close. Eternal Guard will do very decent in this matchup. We do have some Dryads rallying, but really nice play by Park Map, getting the king on them, helping that infantry fight where he can. And the Wood Elves are really low on ammunition now. Just a couple of volleys left. Probably just need to focus them on top of the Damsel, finish her off, and then save 1 for the king as well. Looks like the Glade Lord has been forced off. He did such a good initial kind of protection of him, of keeping him alive, but recently he's been getting him caught a little bit. Oh no, shots going into Spearman Arms. No, don't waste your last volleys. Needs to be focused on those guys, on the characters, and really getting those guys off. I think the infantry fight is relatively safe for the Wood Elves. Glade Lord rallies now. He can probably get 1 or 2 shots onto the king, but the king has rallied, and we do have some Eternal Guard who have swarmed the Damsel of Beast. Not exactly where she wants to hang out. Balance Pan now though going massively in favour of the Wood Elves, but these archers, I feel like they need to keep their ammunition. But yeah, at the same time, what do I know? He has forced off this massive blob. That could force the balance power to go over to army losses as well. Looks like the king did flee, actually, for the might of the Glade Lord, who did rally. Possibly actually bringing the king down. Is there a body anywhere? Not quite sure. But a nice victory for the Wood Elves overall in a really tough matchup, which is nice to see. Which is really very cool. So that was a 2-0 by Ronin there. So we do have 2-2-0 semi-finals. So A-Move, if you are in the chat, please do hop over into the lobby when a space is available. Really nice play. Going for a traditional Wood Elf build of Wild Riders to protect Way Watchers. No dragon, of course. But pretty damn interesting. Against Bretonnian, super risky, and he had the cav to kind of deal with it. But really nice play by Ronin, constantly keeping those Way Watchers active and protecting them. Sacrificing Wild Riders where he had to, just to, sacrifice for the short term, big wins for the long term, and then he's managed to grind out that front line with the Dryads. 103 kills on one of those units. Very good stuff. So really nice play there. Let's change the scoreboard. So Ronin did go up to 2. Yay! But this is now going to be the mighty A-Move, because I can't remember his in-game name, unfortunately. And Ronin is back down to 2. Good luck in the finals. Nice to see you, palm up. And we'll get Ben. I'll let him just join. But and we are on El Angui. Should be good fun. So what did I miss in chat, guys? Oh god, I've missed a ton. Let the butchery begin. Yes, yes. I like the Arc of Sotek vs. Tomb of 2. I think it works fairly well, dude, honestly. Like, it's pretty good at clearing out chaff, it's unexpected, and it forces people to target it as well. Your favourite Wood Elves, David the White Lizard. Nice, nice. I thought you were a Skaven main for some reason. Wood Elves are very cool. I'll just drop a message. Invites to Sandman Ben anyway. That was so long ago. It was against Chosen One. Chosen One's a super good player, man. You managed to beat him, though. Peasants need a 600 gold points increase. I demand it. I turned pro for like a day or two. This is new for life. I might have to change it soon, though. People now don't always complain that I don't live up to my name anymore. You're a very good player now, dude, honestly. Very scary opponent to face. We need some games. I don't think we've ever played. It's really frustrating. I had the same thing with someone else. But I finally got some games against them. It was really good. Can't remember who it was, but we'll definitely do some games soon. Emery Peasants will win this game. Unfortunately, they didn't have enough faith in Zelede to save them. Yeah, I wanted to see the third game between those two as well. That was so close. Yo, yo. Just a coin for my Witcher. Cool, so heads, Ronin will pick first and ban first. Tails, A-Move. So it's Tails, so A-Move picks first. So coin for your picker. Yeah, super fun map as well, this one. Very competitive. Lots of open ground you can force your opponent into. But at the same time, lots of trees as well. Yeah, man, I really want to see the third match between those guys. Imagine ACAB was too much for me. No worries, you did a great game, man. Play me for King of New Mountain and we can stream it when you have time. Hell yes, I'm 100% down for that. I want that title of King of New Mountain. We will definitely find time to do that in live stream, bro. That'll be fun. Yeah, man, Pumat, you did great, dude, honestly. Those are some close games. And at the end, like, you almost had it. You managed to push through onto those Way Watchers. It was just really nice play for Ronin, honestly, protecting his backline where he could sacrifice some Wild Riders where he needed to, but it worked out for him. And super close. I agree with Noob. I wanted to see that third game. But it was good fun. Cool. So A-Move is banning Coast and take up the Mighty Lizardmen. Yes! Representing the old ones today. I love it. Always happy to see Lizardmen here. Wondering what Ronin will pick in retaliation. Dark Elves are a very common pick at the moment. And we see him go Dark Elves, of course. Of course. I'm expecting Scourge Runner Chariots. They have been nerfed, so it'd be interesting to see how the meta has changed. Chameleon Skinks and Basiladon with solar engines, quite a nice counter. Also, like a skink chief or a skink priest on a stegodon with a big crossbow can also work really wonders there. He pairs that matchup. It shows, yeah, man, it's a tough matchup for Wood Elves, but I think he's a I think one of his favourite factions is Wood Elves, so you need to try and play those games even when they're not favoured against you. There's also a lot of trees for Lizardman to hide in on this map if he does go for the full skirmish, scourge runners, and so forth. So guys, welcome to anyone who has been joining. We're doing a 4-man tournament. We've just finished both semi-finals, and we are now going into the finals between Ronin, representing the Extreme Meme team, as we can see here, and Sandman the Ben, who is in fact a move hacker. I believe he represents QSA, which is their clans there, and it's going to be a best-of-3 final, so it should be fun. Hope you guys are enjoying. And if you are, feel free to subscribe, like, all that good standard YouTube stuff. I have a Patreon account down below in the description. You can become my first ever Patreon, which I believe elevates you to some type of godhood in the afterlife. I need to double check with the big old GOD. But there's some pretty crazy bonuses, I'm pretty sure. So feel free to do that. Feel free not to do that and just sit back and enjoy as well. These live streams are always super fun. They tend to get the most views as well, so I think people enjoy live streams more than single videos, but let me know if you kind of enjoy short, small videos or big old fat live streams. Happy to do either really. And at the moment, my current schedule is as best as possible, because I work obviously as well, is 2 live streams a week and 2 videos a week. It's kind of what I aim for. Sometimes I do more, sometimes I do less, but you know, it is what it is. I may also get a face cam at some point soon, because I was thinking of doing some reviews for movies and stuff as well. So you may see that I am in fact a duck. Yes, kill warm-blooded emo boys. Yeah, oh god, I hate Dark Elves. I suck against Dark Elves and I suck playing them, so. Cool, looks like good luck to have fun all around. So Amy was ready, but he's just popped off, so we'll make sure he's all good to go. And this should be fun. I'll just ready up for when he is ready, and when he pops in, it should be good to go straight away. But yes. So if anyone is looking to play in future games, wants to send me videos to cast, if they do that, by the way, there is like a long waiting list, because I've got such a backlog of replays I need to show. But if you do want to show me replays, I will try and cast them. If you want to play in tournaments, King of the Hills, which is super fun, kind of just best of 1 games, winner stays on, which you get a load of different players playing, which is super cool. And get involved in general, let me know. You can add me on Discord. My name is a Rubber Duck of War, and from there I will invite you to my Discord, and you'll be able to see when I'm going to stream and all that kind of stuff. You get like a cheeky little bit of a heads up on tournament places as well. I tend to offer them to all the Discords, but my people tend to get a half-hour head start for being awesome. I like live streams because it's more interactive with the people. Damn right. Okay. Because I might always be able to up it to like 3 or something. Hey, try some MMA or box commentary style. I don't really watch MMA or boxing, so I feel like it's just real like intense. Good luck, have fun. Sweet, looks like good to go. Like I'm fairly interested in MMA and stuff, but like I just don't watch it. I went for a phase like years ago before it kind of blew up of watching a guy called Crazy Horse or Kid Chaos, I think it might be his other name, or Chaos something. Like go through fights and stuff, but it was way less professional back then. It was more like just kind of brawling. It's still pretty cool to watch, but I know it's huge at the moment. But yes, here we are on the awesome plains of Bretonia. Nice cars from the distance as the peasants cower and fear, and trying to lick their wounds from their wood elf loss up there and watch the battlefield. So, nice open plain in the middle here you can try and force your opponents into, but it is surrounded by pesky trees all around the periphery and in big clumps in the centre as well. But if you don't want to be drawn into those pesky hide-and-seek games, especially if you're on this side, you can always deploy over in the back here, force your opponent into the open engagement, and have a nice blood and thunder affair there. Oh god, I don't know what I'm eating. I'm burping like constantly right now. So apologies if you guys are going to hear that through the mic, but, you know, it's part of my charm. But yeah, super fun map. Normally play this one in tournaments, and after this map we have Alpine Ridge as is tradition. as it's both players crawl into the top of the hill to try and claim that crown, and then one more map after that as well. And the winner of this tournament will be entered into the kind of grand finals, which will be the... we have 4 episodes, and the winner of each one will come together and face off in a final. We still need to do last season's final. It's a little bit tough because there was a 3-month gap, so I'm not sure if everyone wants to play in it still and whatnot, but we'll also try and cast that probably at the end of the season. So we may even have both season champions, face off as well. We need to try and get that done though, but it all takes time, unfortunately. So let's have a little look at the Dark Elf army of Ronan. For his main line, we do have some cheap and cheerful dread spears, but chevroned up to silver, so they're real deceiving. If you don't check out what chevron your opponents are, you can get kind of surprised quite heavily. These guys will now fare much better against skinks and so forth. Some witch elves mixed in there as well, and 2 units of the Black Guard of Nagaron's hardcore elite bad to the bone dark elves. All the edginess on these guys with their spikes. Anti-large, very good against dinosaurs, and will dumpster warriors fairly effectively as well. We have 2 units of Cold One Dread Knights. Hell yeah, the hardcore version here of the Cold One Cav. Nice to see these guys getting some action. We have Dark Riser repeater crossbows, 3 units of those in fact overall, but no chariots. Okay, maybe really trying to throw a move off his game. We'll have Marathi up in the air on her little Pegasus. Let's see, is it a Pegasus or a Hellsteed? I never remember what the dark ones. Wand of Kadron, Soul Stealer, Melkov's Mystifying Miasma, Heartrender, and all that good stuff. Now, let's have a look at the Lisbon and see what they were prepared for. So we have 2 Chameleon Skinks in the front line, as I've spoken before on the stream. One of the best, probably my favourite skirmish unit, super tricky to hunt down. They of course have missile resistance, being chameleons. They slow you down, and they're just a general pain in the butt. We have the Pohawk Sentinels up in the sky as well, originally around Pterodon Riders. We also have Tic-Tac-Toe. What are we witnessing right now? Tic-Tac-Toe, what a legend. Bringing the man, the myth, the legend. I don't think I've ever seen him in a competitive setting. None of his buffs have been brought, just his drop sphere of Teapot. With a nice little rock blocks there. Air combatant, pretty decent duelist as well. Super spread out formation made up of skink cohorts with javelins, and red crested skinks all on the front line, trying to contain or kind of have a presence in the entire map. We've seen him do this a lot this stream, and he's very, very good at it. Also has the cohort of Sotek in the front line. In the back line, we do have 2 units of Horned One Riders. Seeing those guys go up against the Dread Knights would be an awesome fight. And in the centre, we have the Umbral Tide, one of my favourite units. I haven't used them in kind of recent battles, actually, but they're very, very cool. Regiment Salamander Hunting Packs, who also have Stalk here. Let's see, we also have a Skink Priest of Heavens as well, with Wind Blast and Harmonic Convergence. Now, Harmonic Convergence with Tic-Tac-Toe up against Marathi will be an interesting fight, but she does have bonus versus large. Tic-Tac-Toe, only 3,300 health, fairly squishy. But what a hero bringing the mighty Tic-Tac-Toe. And it looks like we are underway here. So we have memes coming from a QSA member up against the Extreme Meme Team, representative of Ronin here. Going to be very, very interesting in this game. Infantry, much more hardcore for the Dark Elves of the Black Guard and the Witch Elves. And 2 units of Cold One Dread Knights, actually. This is going to be quite tough for the Lizardmen, I think. They might be able to outswarm their opponents. And the Dark Riders don't have too many fantastic targets because they cannot currently see the Umbral Tide. Chameleon Skinks may be able to skirmish down and do some decent damage to these Dread Spears. Pohawk Sentinels going to be floating around, doing some decent damage. If they can get some drop rocks on these Black Guard, that will do some devastating damage. It'll be really nice. Might also want to skirmish down Marathi a little bit and then pop on her with Tic-Tac-Toe. Chameleon Skinks getting into combat with some Black Guard Nagaron. Odd life choice by these Chameleon Skinks, but I'm assuming they were trying to target something else. And they're now simply going to flee back, which is fine. They didn't really take too much damage. Looks like we do have a Melkov's Mystifying Miasma coming down on these Sentinels, but they're backing off. Tic-Tac-Toe going over to protect them as well in case any funniness was popping up. Umbral Tide unleash a volley into these Dread Spears as well. Very elite Dread Spears who have managed to hop on top of some Chameleon Skinks. But most of the Lizardmen are now falling back behind the trees. Horned Ones cycling around. Probably going to get over here and engage the Cold One Dread Knights. Maybe with the help of the Salamanders. So we do have a Soul Stealer coming down on top of Tic-Tac-Toe. Getting some decent damage and some firepower from the Dark Riders as well. Looks like Pohawk Sentinels are swooping over. Maybe thinking of doing a cheeky rock drop if the Dark Elves aren't paying attention. Marathi probably could go in here and tie these guys up. Oh, he's doing a rock drop. Oh, they're floating right here. They can do it. There we go. Big old rock drop coming down. Getting those guys down to nearly half health. But Ooh, they've taken so much damage in retaliation. And the front lines, Witch Elves are getting shot by javelins, which is really nice play. Those are some naked ladies down there, and will get destroyed relatively quickly. But cohort of Sotek have started to rampage. Over in the distance, we have some skinks who need to become active and be brought back into the main fight, with some horned ones as well. And retired, trying to cope some shots up into Marathi, and some Dread Spears fleeing from the front line. Hawk Sentinels just darting back now. They did some damage to some Dark Riders and managed to force them off, but they are back. Now the Chameleon Skinks are once again firing at the Dark Riders, being pushed off by Skinks. Really nice play overall. And the Red Crested Skinks, wherever they go, are training really effectively. Blackguard taking an absolute punishment so far from the assisted javelin throwing of the little skink boys. And where is the mighty Tic-Tac-Toe? Where is he? He's definitely still alive. Oh, he's down there on the ground, getting involved and trying to just scare off some Witch Elves by the looks of it. Emerald Tide still covering some shots over to Marathi, but he's keeping her moving at the moment, so she's not really taking too much damage. Just as I say that, a couple of flaming shots in the side. Now, in the trees, we do have a fight between the Horned One Riders and Cold One Dread Knights. I have no idea who wins this engagement. Neither of them are anti-large, I don't believe. Oh, no, yeah, that's Marathi that pinned on afterwards. But Skinks are running support and should help out. It looks fairly even for the most part. Dark Riders trying to assist where they can. Big Soul Sealer come down in the middle here on the Red Crested Skinks. But again, not hitting too many tough targets. Horned Ones are rampaging towards the front line. Going to hop on top of these Dread Spears and do some nice cycle charging there. Looks like the Blackguard have been isolated over on this flank. Still fighting Red Crested Skinks. We've taken a lot of firepower from these little boys throwing their javelins and their blow darts. Tic-Tac-Toe does hop on top of some Cold One Knights now, trying to assist some Skinks and allow these chameleons to escape. Looks like the fury and bloodlust of the Dark Elves has been popped though. This murderous power bar up top has been filled, so they're getting a good buff for a little while here. Very close game so far. Skinks with javelins thrown at these Dark Riders, getting some decent value. Hawk Sentinels stand still for the moment. They're pointing to charge down if they're going to do it. Spearman and Blackguard very healthy in the middle now, and we do have a wand coming down on these Skinks. Umbral Tide very healthy, still a lot of ammo left as well. Maybe should loop around and come to the more Lizardmen protected side of the battlefield, so they're going to be quite key for bringing down Marathi and these Dark Riders. Looks like Cold One Dread Knights did get isolated and picked her. Skink Priest even getting involved. Tic-Tac-Toe showing that he, he's not a meme, he's a boss. Coming in here, up to 14 kills, tearing down some of those Cold One Knights and force them out of action. Fortunately for these Blackguard Magron, they have been completely isolated, surrounded by Horned Ones and Skinks. Horned Ones really want to cycle charge here, don't want to stay in too long as they take a ton of damage. The Blackguard will probably break soon, but these guys' leadership is so goddamn good. Even surrounded against all the odds, they still have a healthy 27, saying that I believe that did just drop down a little bit. Spearman being mopped up as well now by Skinks, and more javelins coming in on these Dark Riders, getting some really decent poke. Dark Elves seem to have won the left-hand engagement, and the middle seems a bit indecisive. Lizardmen winning this right-hand side over here, and we have some Cold One Dread Knights. Still 23 of these bad boys, even though they have limited health, rampaging in to try and get on top and save these Blackguard. He can do some damage here overall. Umbral Tide turning and firing some shots into these Dark Riders, trying to force them out. Really nice pick here. These guys don't have the best leadership, and the burning damage should help. I'll just pin these guys off a little bit. We do have the other Cold One Dread Knights getting slowly dragged down by Red Crested Skinks and normal Skink Cohort. Yeah, they've just been forced off here, and they should be able to push their way back now. This battle's super stressed across the whole battlefield. So really nice micro by both players. Skink Cohort chasing off some Dark Riders overall. I think it's starting to go in favour now of the Lizardmen. Emerald Tide getting some really nice shots in Marathi. Hawk Sentinels trying to hold it down, and Tic-Tac-Toe is definitely going to be more confident now in meeting her in one-on-one combat. But Big Soul Sealer could help her kind of position out right now. More javelins thrown in at Dark Riders, fending those guys off. And the Blackguard did finally break, but only just now. And Cold One Dread Knights are fighting in here. Witch Elves as well, saturated on top of Spearmen, trying to lower the health of these Horned Ones and drag them from their saddles. I wonder if they have saddles. They probably don't. They are Lizardmen, so... The battle is now going very heavily in favour of the Lizardmen, and that's mainly because Marathi is so beat up. She is fleeing backwards though, escaping Tic-Tac-Toe. He decides, you know what, it's not worth it, I can just return to the main fight, force you to come and meet me. Javelins forcing off Dark Riders, really nice play overall here, and this Dark Elf pocket was lost unfortunately. Cold One Dread Knights now fleeing to the Red Crested Skinks combination with the Horned Ones. Nice to see Horned Ones in use as well, don't get too much competitive play out of them. Skink Cohorts and looks like one or two Horned Ones have surrounded another unit of Blackguard as well, fighting to the death. 150 kills is just pretty ridiculous. Now, A-Move is just picking his battles where he can. He has the mobility advantage. Umbral Tide getting some really nice shots into Marathi. He's getting danger close, but is needing to try and shut those guys down. But they only really have 1 or 2 volleys left here. So they're not really that much of a threat anymore to her. She's probably get in the air, try and get a big Soul Stealer off, and then snipe out Tic-Tac-Toe might be a good bet. Looks like a lot of Dark Elf troops are running in the trees over here, but the extra mobility and map presence of the Lizardmen now is really allowing them to pick and choose their fights where needed. Umbral Tide getting in that last volley on top of Marathi. Imagine for the most part, didn't quite escape that Soul Stealer. Really nice Soul Stealer catching quite a few troops there, but down goes Marathi, and that is going to be game. What a game! What a game! So this best of 3 finals is a 1-0 so far to the mighty A-Move. Really nice build overall. Tic-Tac-Toe, come on, what a hero. Bringing Tic-Tac-Toe and Horn Ones in this matchup, making them work well. As I said before, map presence, managing to hunt down units and pick and choose battles really won him it. Again, it was a huge what's the right word for this? I mean, it was a Pyrrhic victory, though, at best. He lost so many numbers, it really cost him high in the blood price. Colorado Knights doing a fairly decent job. Blackguard, though, 90 and 159 kills, trying to keep the battle together. Skink Tide! The next map will be Alpine Ridge. So let's change the scoreboard, and I'll have a little check on what you guys thought of that battle. Boop. Oh, I've got a load of messages on Discord. Hope we're all good. Yeah, we're good by the looks of it. Cool. So Rowan does pick Norska and bans the Dowie. Dowie can be tricky for Norskans in my opinion. Skinks show their teeth, they do indeed. Extreme meme team for the win. Come on, Ronan. Can he make a comeback? Blast the QSA scum there, all a little bit of rivalry. It's all in good fun, but really fun game overall. Just need to message Chosen One. Cool. So yeah, I just got a message from the mighty Chosen One. Just making sure the finals are still placed, and Season 2 finals will take place. We just wanted to get a tournament up and running first of all, and I'll organise Season 2 finals hopefully for next week. But we'll see what the guys' timelines are like. That is going to be Chosen One, Flying Taco, Noob for Life, and I think Zeus won the last one, but I could be wrong there. I'll have to double check. Nah, ooh, okay, A-Move going Skaven, going for a proper Vermintide approach here. Well, should be good to see some Skaven. And the people demanded Skaven! This is perfect! How can you not love the guy? Tic-Tac-Toe into Skaven, doing his best to please you guys. Cool, quickly check my Discord. Yeah, okay, they're all good. So I'm just going through a load of messages. And we are back on the game. Cool. So who's your money on? Glory of the Horned Rat. I'd like this to go to best of 3 though. I really would. So I'm secretly rooting for Ronan, just a little bit. Just a little bit. I know I'm meant to be unbiased as a commentator, but you know, it is what it is. I quite like this format as it's just nice, quick, get some nice competitive games, but at the same time it's not this kind of huge grueling league, but at the same time I've been contemplating possibly doing a league at some point. Or some kind of league system. Maybe a cumulative tournament style, much like so we used to do this a few times, or escalation I think they're called, so you'd start with like limited funds, so maybe like a quarter amount of the funds, or a third, probably best, and you play, and then you have to keep that initial third of your army, and you add the second third, on top of that. So you can kind of know what your opponent is bringing already a little bit, so you try and counterpick them, and it could be some good fun. It's like a best of 3 still, but your armies kind of evolve as you play, which could be cool, but at the same time might be hard to organise, so we'll see. Looks like Ronan is ready. Coming with the double worm special. Yes, Chaos Gods versus the Horned God. Isn't the Horned God slightly Chaos influenced or something, Law? Or does he eat a Chaos God or something crazy? I lose track. You think he'd go for a chariot build? That'd be pretty cool. Run over some Skaven boys, but A-Move is a very good defensive player as well. Obviously, having played Dowie quite a lot before, so he's a hard nut to crack. So if he does go for more of a range build and kind of sit back and defend, it's going to be tough to break through. But Norskins up there, probably with Greenskins and Beastmen. Actually, probably Beastmen and Norska are the top 2 swarming factions in the game, in my opinion. Mammoth build. I would love a Mammoth build, but there is no way. There is no way. Not against Skaven. I mean, it kind of works if he goes for like a combat Skaven build, but it's so risky with Giselles, warp blinding cannons, and all that nastiness. Cool. Already up, so as soon as he readies up, it should get going. It's so good that most of the game has been fixed. I can go into this spectator mode again. It's just so much easier. It's so nice. Hopefully it stays this way. Ratatata! Build for Moors. Hell yes. Hope you guys are enjoying that. These are always a blast to cast. And of course, you guys are what makes it work as well. Otherwise, I'll just be sitting in here on my own, just talking to myself, and it'd be a little bit weird. Pray for Wall in a Bonebreaker. What's up, Sam? Hope you're doing good, man. Papa Palpatine, my G. How was it going? Papa Palpatine, very cool dude as well. Has played on the channel a couple of times, I think, in King of the Hill. And is a active member of Noobhammer. So any new players looking to get into the game, join the Discord Noobhammer. I can always set you up with a link if you need one. And there's a lot of experienced players there, and a lot of new players, of course. Lots of tournaments for new players, and kind of experienced players also help teach them and get them into the game. Werewolves, man, full werewolf builds are so cool. Going for hounds, skin wolves, werekins, it's really cool. So, Alpine Ridge, the OG map, has survived since Rome Total War. It's gone under many changes since then, however. That map used to be literally just one giant hill. We have this big shot blocking hill in the middle, which causes some problems for our players today. So do they push the hill, try and get the high ground and make Obi-Wan proud? Do they sit back, try and shoot their opponent off the high ground? Can also mess up range builds quite heavily as they don't have line of sight straight away. Now on this right flank we have the heavy wooded terrain, so you can do lots of sneaky stabbings and schemes and force your way through there. There's also trees dotted around the battlefield as well, so lots of shot blockers in case the Skaven have gone very gun heavy here. It looks like the guys are just about loading in. And we'll have a look at this Norscan build. Unfortunately, no double Frostworm build, but I do see a Manticore up in the sky. So, for his infantry line, we do have the Icehorn Marauders, regiment renowned fellas right down here. Ooh, these guys are bounced around. But a couple of these guys, he's gone very cheap and cheerful and wide, very good to do against Skaven, with just massive amounts of Marauders all across the front line there. Looks like 5 units in total, or just the 4. Wait, what are you? Nope, 5. And then a couple of units of Marauders Berserkers as well to really chew through. These guys, looking very Ragnar Lothbrok-like, will tear apart Skaven infantry super quickly. We have a couple of units of Javelins as well. I like this inclusion in case there is any hell pits or nastiness like that. Ooh, no, please say we haven't lost A-Move again. No, it looks like we're staying. We have some Norscan Warhounds and Norscan Ice Wolves as well for backline pressure. And we do, in fact, get some Werewolves. So we have 2 units of the Skin Wolves, not the armoured variety. These guys do have regeneration, bonus versus large, and all that good stuff. A really nice pick. I often quite like taking 1 or 2 of these guys as well. We have a Manticore up in the skies, the Feral variety. We have a Shaman Sorcerer of Fire, bringing Burning Head and Fireball. And we have a Mammoth against Skaven. So that's an interesting pick here. Wulfric the Wanderer, of course, bringing 100 champions and his boat. I don't think Seafang works the best against Skaven just because they're quite spread out formations, but could work very good damage against tightly packed formations, perhaps if he has any storm vermin and so forth. So now for A moves build, really nice spread out deployment once again. So for the most part, he has cheap and cheerful clan rats, just going to be looking to hold down the enemy and keep them bay where possible. We also have one of the coolest sounding units in the game, Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers. How gangster is that right there? Flaming swords, really cool shields as well, for these fancy volcano-esque kind of symbols. Original round clan rats just for a bit of added protection. We have some warp fire throws as well. Another unit we barely ever see. So 2 warp fire throws. I can't even say their name properly. I never see them. 3 in fact in the back line looking to roast some boys. We do have the teeth breakers as well. Original round rattling gunners. And we also have some poison wind globadeers. 2 units in the back, and all of these guys are going to be babysat by 3 units of rat ogres along the back line. Really old school Skaven play, using these guys to just hunt down light cav and whatnot that try and force their way into your back line. We also have the dwarf fin menace, yes, regiment of doomflayers who have this awesome blue electronical look to them. I really like the pipes, kind of the waves and vobs of the thunder going through them. These guys should be able to run over some people pretty decently. Now for his leadership, we do have Tretch Craventail coming with all the memes today, A-Move, and he's a good enough player to make it kind of work. Tretch, never really see him too much. I played him recently. Where are you in there? The big rat. Yeah, there you go, funny one here. He's brought Stay Here, I'll Get Help. Gives Stalk and a Spottle, plus 16 leadership. Stand or Die, and Tretch Raiders. Madness build here from the Skaven. Looks like we also have a Warlock Engineer in there as well, just hiding out. Crazy build. I consider it doing pretty well. Wolfric the Wanderer at the same time is going to be very deadly against this if he can avoid getting bunched up by the Teeth Breakers. It's close to those guys, they will tear him apart. But the warp throwers won't do too much to him, neither with the bombers either. And the rat ogres, they'll do okay, but he'll be able to beat them down fairly comfortably. Fortunately, we're getting a bit of lag, or are they just moving slowly? Nope, looks like we're all fine. Good. So the Norsemen do take the high ground, and now finally be able to see the swaths of Skaven that kind of await them. We do have some sneaky Norsemen Warhounds in the back there, though, maybe able to pop on top of some of these weapon teams. And I'm really interested to see how these warp fire throws do. I am so surprised. It's pretty damn mad here. Teeth Breakers do have a concealment bomb on them right now, trying to remain hidden and get into a advantageous position. Whereas Wolfric looks like he's taken a right-hand approach here. Probably a good bet, wants to stay away from those Teeth Breakers and just mulch on whatever he can, where he can. And we're going to see some early engagements. So Berserkers will literally demolish Skaven slaves in a matter of seconds. The Teeth Breakers getting some early shots in there, tearing apart these naked warriors. Not quite naked, but topless at least. And the Skaven slaves like, nah, not about this. Going to fall back as much as possible and lure them into the warp fire throwers, bathing friend and foe in glorious warp flames. Looks like that is actually going to push the Skaven off. We now have some bombs coming in as well, and these Berserkers are taking an absolute hammering as they push in. Marauders across the line are starting to engage, and really nice pick on here by Ronin, getting those Skin Wolves in onto the Dwarf Finn's Menace. It looks like they're trying to escape. No, they're doing some 360s there. Those guys will get torn down if they get pinned in for too long, and Marauders all across the board are getting in. Real nice Howling Warp Gale keeping this Manticore in place, and it's getting pushed back so hard with that constant amount of fire from the Teeth Breakers, and taking a huge hammering right here. Of course, the Norsemen are winning their main frontline engagements, apart from where all the huge firepower is coming in, and Marauders are getting eaten by Tretch Craventail a little bit. Manticore has gone rampaging and is going to be throwing himself into Clan Spirits, which is a bit of a disaster there for Ronan. We do have a ship coming down. Is he going to catch his guys? Which way is he going? Oh, looks like it was either cancelled. Oh no, there it goes. Goes down the front line, doing a little bit of damage. So, Norsemen's trying their best to swarm where possible. We do have some javelins coming in now, aiming at those ogres, but Big Wolfric's butt is kind of in the way slightly. Berserkers hopping on top of his warp fire throws as well is a really nice pick, and Wolfric should be able to hammer down these ogres very, very quickly. And Norsemen's are flooding through wherever they can. We have hounds coming in the background, going to hop on top of these warp fire throwers, do a decent job there. Skinwolves probably just turn and chase these rat ogres and force them off. I guess they are trying to save their Berserkers where possible. And the Shaman getting in there on his little chariot, going to be running over some poor little rat boys. Wolves have hopped on top of his warp fire throw, really nice pick there, then can move up to the next ones. Manticore is going down, it's rampaging, and it's not been the best day for that little fella. Icehorn Marauders need to try and force their ways on top of these Poison Wind Grenadiers here, and Wolfric the Wanderer happy to crunch some rat ogres And these other hounds are going to simply feast on the flesh of those warp fire throwers. So the Skaven have kind of been broken slightly, but they've done so much damage. Do the Norsemen still have enough? Burnhead not really doing too much damage to the warp fire throwers. They're fairly spread out in their formation. Rat Ogres up against Norscan Ice Wolves, going to go very good for the Rat Ogres. If those were the Beast of Tashanar, that'd be a very, very different story. And Wulfric needs to somehow shut down these Teeth Breakers. It is an absolute must, as they do so much damage to him. There's not too much else across the battlefield which can harm him that much. Clan Rats are fleeing, but they'll probably come back. And the Norscans are very, very beat up here. A 360 no-scope fireball coming down and hitting the Warthog Engineer. Very risky, nearly hitting the mighty Wulfric here, who is now hopping on top of the Teeth Breakers. I really like this pick. He needs to take him down now as soon as possible. It will low over the Rat Ogres, no doubt, and Tretch, but it has to be done. We'll do some rallying Ice Wolves. If he can force these Teeth Breakers back, get those Wolves over here and start munching down on those weapon crews, that'll go very well for him. Wulfric taking an absolute pounding, but Scroll of Shielding popped on him, 22% resistance. Hopping on top of these Rat Ogres, but he is taking so much work. And of course, Tretch is anti-large, I believe. Or at least it has a bonus versus large. Can't get into him there, but we'll see how he does. And for the rest of the battlefield, Norsemen are rallying as well, pushing into the back line where they can. But he needs to get these hounds and shut down the Teeth Breakers. Burnhead does come in, doing some okay damage, but it's not going to push these guys off or really kill many models. And the Chariot is coming flooding in here now, trying through the fire and the flames here on top of this Warp Fire crew, trying to shut them down. It's a really nice pick there. Wulfric, the mighty, even with Scroll of Shielding, has been broken and forced off here. And no doubt he is going to get chased. And with that, the balance of power still fairly even, actually. It starts to normalise a little bit as it was in the favour of the Norscans. There is a ton of battle going on in this as well. These Skin Wolves are healing up with regeneration, but they need to get back into the action as soon as possible. And we have Berserkers and Marauders easily going to finish off Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers there. So those Skin Wolves need to come over here. They're fast moving, mobile, and they may be able to save Wulfric here. Javelins have come into play as well. Unfortunately for Ronin, he's got so many units that aren't active. Of course, a load of micro down here that is really stressing him, much more easy to see from up here. But he needs to get all these units activated, and he still stands a really good chance. Skin Wolves running in to do battle with the Rat Ogres, and they will do a very good job here. Hopefully be able to pin those guys down. Stand your ground is popped though, giving them that melee defense, but they may have just saved Wulfric right now, which is very good. Javelins coming in as well, hitting the Rat Ogres, which is a really nice pick, but some Clan Spear Rats are getting onto the back there and forcing those guys to stop. Skin Wolves, come on bros, you need to get active. This fight over here, ooh, Clan Vulcan doing really good actually, up to 69 kills. Maybe I underestimated those guys a little bit. Wulfric needs to stay alive so he can still pop those debuffs down onto Tretch where he can and keep that leadership active. And this is balance of power slowly getting in favour of the Norscans, but it's so close here. I don't know why they're breaking it as much as they are. This Chariot doing fantastic work with 99 kills is insane. Taking out the Warblock Engineer leadership here, and so many Skaven running for the hill. Looks like the Skaven were going to have it, to be honest, but Norska, what a fight back, forcing off the Teeth Breakers here. And I think Norskans now, with that massive rout from the Skaven, just had enough troops left alive to force their way through. I think Ronin is going to take this to a 3-game series, which is fantastic. Tretch trying his best, but he's a bit of a cowardly fella. He is called Tretch after all, and there's no way he can stand up to this much firepower. Wulfric can pop over now, pop the 100 champions down as well, lower his stats, and allow the rest of his goons to do the dirty work. Vulcan Tail Slashers did really good job over here, forcing off some opponents up to 88 kills. Wulfric is probably going to go say hello and sort those guys out. So, nice, constant play by Ronin here, chasing off troops. Yes, they're just rats, but you want to chase them off and keep that balance of power in your favour. It does start to normalise a little bit there. Javelins coming in on Tretch though, doing some decent damage, and Hunter Champions is on him. We do have a spell coming down here, but looking like the Warplock Engineer. Ooh, nasty little, I'm not even sure what that's called there, coming down, but nice dodge by Ronin, being very aware and keeping his Marauder Hunters active. Tretch trying his best, taking down some Skin Wolves where he can, but his leadership's not the best. And this Shaman Sorcerer has been a real MVP. Riding dirty, 101 kills, forced and completely shattered off the Warplock Engineer. And that is going to be a game 1-all. Nice game. That was super close. Very, very good game there. And super fun. And this finals will be going to the final game, which is what we love to see. Super interesting experimental build coming in from A-Move there, bringing Tretch, a little bit memey, but apart from that, you know, Warp 5 throws can work well in this matchup, but unfortunately, he just got swarmed by Ronin and just slowly dragged down. At one point, it really looked like he was going to win it in his favour, with Wolfric running off the field and whatnot, but 101 kills for the two hero core bros here managed to carry the day. So let's go to our last map. Oh, where'd you gone? There you go. Schwarzhaven is how I'm going to say it. And we'll get the final game underway soon. He deserves defeat, yes, yes. Behold, before the new warlord Tretch Craventail, mighty new leader. Which is pretty hilarious, to be honest. My favorite map from Shogun 2. Is this in Shogun 2? Hell yes! I think this map has been in like every single game so far. Which is pretty cool. So he picked and banned last time. Cool, so it is going to be on A-Move to pick and ban. Cool, right, so now I'm just going to check. I've just received a load of messages. Cool, looks like we're all good. So I'm just getting messages on Steam. Cool, looks like we are all good. So he's going to pick the Dwarf. So he's going OG, back to the favourites, going Dwarfs and banning High Elves. I'm just going to have a little sip of water, try and clear my throat. Yo, Raptor, what's up, my dude? Raptor was initially going to be in this, actually. But Ninja, who was felled by the mighty A-Move in round 1, did in fact take his place. Oh, he's going to ban Skaven, not High Elves. Okay. And while I'm at this, Ronin representing the Extreme Meme team hard. Still representing with that 1-0. So Dark Elves versus Dowie. Interesting matchup. We've seen that Ronin does love his Dark Elf play. Oh yeah, yeah, you can't play same faction twice. Yes. The Dwarven New Box. It is not called the Dwarven New Box, mate. It is called the Dwarven Geometry Master Plan. It's much more skilled than the New Box. No worries, man. This whole thing will be uploaded afterwards. It takes like an hour to upload. It'll annoyingly upload a video without the beginning, start wave. It does this every time, and then just give it a couple of minutes, and then the whole thing will actually upload. But yeah, you do have a fellow Extreme Meme team member in the finals. And see you around, man. We'll try and get you into the next one. Cool. Ronin is going Empire. That's an odd pick. I feel like Empires struggle against Dwarfs. You can try and outshoot them with multiple Great Cannons. You've got all your Hang Ellis to do with the ammo. But Dowie just do what the Empire do best when it comes to this kind of match. Obviously, Dowie don't do Cav very well. But what you want in this matchup is, you know, the armor piercing, the long range superiority, and I feel like Dowie just do that slightly better than everyone else. So it looks like A-Move is ready. And we're just waiting on Ronin for this final game. Who is your money on? Looks like they're both ready. Gonna get it cracking. Just gonna have another sip quickly. My throat is getting quite sore. But yes, thank you for all chilling with me and showing them love. It's been good so far. So this map, super massive open map, another map that I'm trying out this tournament to see if we're going to bring it into future ones. Lots of rolling hills as well, so you can still do some defensive approaches up high and get some nice shot blockers in. Limited amount of foliage on this one, not too many trees. They're dotted around now and again, but you can't do so much sneaky stabbings, unfortunately. But it is a massive map, so you can do tons of flanking and whatnot still. You think this is the toughest matchup in the game? Oh no, Wood Elves Bretonia, man. But then we should actually, saying that, Ronin proves that you can do it with the Wood Elves. It's just super tough, in my opinion, anyway. I don't have the micro of Ronin, I don't think, to kind of keep my Way Watchers alive and whatnot. I've actually kind of gone off Way Watchers a little bit as well as far as builds. I tend to go for more Wild Rider Rush builds and so forth. Cool little mountains over here. They're quite dragon-esque. Giant mountains in the background as well. But yes, so we wait for these guys to load in for the final showdown of Ultimate Destiny. And we'll see what happens. Cool, looks like we're just about to be in. This little bar will pop up when they're loading in, and here we go. This map is huge. It's a ridiculous size, and it looks like he is going to try and outshoot him. It doesn't look like the dwarfs are going to play that game at all. This is going to be very, very interesting. So we have 3 great cannons. There's an insane amount of firepower coming in from the Empire then. Oh my god! Ronin, right, I'm going to get to this little fella in a moment, but 3 great cannons can be doing a lot of long range damage. For his main line, we have Spearmen mixed in with Great Swords. Great Swords fantastic in this matchup, armor piercing, a little bit more elite troops, but they will struggle against the elite of the Dowie. Spearmen there just to hold the line a little bit. A couple of units of Empire Knights in the back for that extra mobility, rear charges, and trying to get onto those Dowie guns. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 units of handgunners coming in. Looks like we don't have the silver bullets though. Up in the sky, we have Balthasar Gelt, so going Lord of Metal. Interesting choice there. Gelt, a little bit memey, but at the same time, yeah, can do his bits. He has his staff with him, Arcane Conduit, Glittering Robe to give his troops better armour, Plague Rust to minus the Dowie armour, that's pretty damn good, and Searing Doom. But the ultimate insult here, the slap in the face to the dwarfs. Gotrek is fighting on the side of the Empire. This right here is a grudgeon. This is the biggest grudgeon I have ever seen. I'm super interested to see how this goes. So it looks like we have a little bit of a Dowie rush build. So we have miners all along the front line, including the Regiment Renowned version, trying to do some decent damage with their blasting charges, and they have been fairly effective against this Empire build. We have 4 units of Bugman Rangers as well. Do we have the Regiment Renowned version? No, just the standard ones. So once again, vanguarding forward, those archers will do a decent job taking down the handgunners. For his main battle line, we have Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. We'll, not do too terribly up against the Great Swords, but we'll lose that fight and do very well up against everything else. We have 1, 2, 3 units of Slayers, including the Regiment of Renowned version. Dragonback Slayers going to be very good against those cav. Or is that 4? 4 units of Slayers. These builds are madness right now. Both competitor trying to outdo the other. And we have Belagar Ironhammer in the back as well, holding down the Dwarf Throng. This is going to be crazy. Those cannons don't have the best targets, to be honest. But they still do a lot of damage. Handgunners as well are going to be very nasty. But what a game. This is insane. But the ultimate traitor with Gotrek here is so funny. Right, the dwarfs do start to march up now. These Bugman Rangers are, of course, hidden, and they're going to be trying to force up and do some decent damage to these handgunners. Cannon shots are whirling in. Looks like they actually hit the Dragonback Slayers, but probably not the best bet. Handgunners do come with some decent damage on top of the miners, but, miners are there to die, realistically. And Bugman Rangers are now going to start getting a decent amount of fire onto these handgunners, trying to force them off. They looks like they are trying to dodge a little bit, successfully as well, over there. The other unit, less successfully, taking some hefty damage now. Balthasar Gelt flying forward, trying to assist his forces, and the cannons are trying to target down Belagar Ironhammer himself by the looks of it. Looks like he's the best target. Searing Doom was dodged masterfully there by a move, and the Empire Knights rushing in to meet these miners. Very nice play not having these guys on auto throws. They throw their blast charges instantly. Instead, going to try and use those charges on the Great Swords and better targets. Oh, no, saying that, looks like Ekron miners do throw theirs in anyway. Bugman Rangers doing decent damage to hangers up on top of the hill, and Slayers rushing up to hunt down those great cannons. Left-hand flank, though, still very strong for the Empire. Dwarf Warriors are slowly moving up. These Slayers need to run back and possibly hop on top of those cannons. That could be quite a nice pick for them. Nice throw with the Blasting Charges by the Miners on top of Greatswords, getting some good value. Gotrek slaying his own kind here. This is them. I'm so upset right now. More Blasting Charges coming in, aiming for the Handgunners here, trying to push them off and finish them off, which is pretty decent play here. Looks like the Slayers are pushing back. Have these Handgunners haven't fled. Slayer's going to hop on top of this Great Cannon and shut it down, which is really nice play. The Cav are going to need to do a ton of Cycle Charging to bring this back in the Empire's favour. Nice Searing Doom, though, coming down on top of the Blackman Rangers. But, you know, they have magic resistance. It's not really doing too much damage, unfortunately. And now the Rangers are helping assist some Miners trade upwards and effectively against Great Swords, who do currently have Glittering Robe active on them. The Empire Knights charging for some Cycle Charging. They've got to be careful. Slayers are active and they're buying. These little guys are going to Kobe themselves and throw themselves onto the Empire Knights. Not sure if I should actually be saying Kobe, unfortunately. The legend did pass away the other day, but we can try and live on to the legacy, I suppose. So Dwarf Warriors are fighting Great Swords here. Slayers getting around and behind them, doing a nice charge into the back, and they do decent damage there. Belegar taking a bit of a hammering, but you know, that's what he's there for, that's what he does. And no! No! Gotrek and Belegar are fighting each other in mortal combat, which is something I do not like to see. Gotrek will win this fairly handily, considering Belegar is incredibly beat up already. He's going to be fleeing for the hills and probably seeking refuge amongst the Dragonback Slayers there as well. Balance power going in favour of the Dowie Rush build. No one expects the Dowie Rush build, much like the Spanish Inquisition. Searing Doom once again coming in, but it's just not doing enough damage, I don't think, unfortunately. Great Swords slowly being dealt with as well by just the mass amount of Dwarf Warriors. Empire Knights really trying to cycle charge down this flank over here and get the most work they can. Slayers forcing off some Handgunners over on the other side, doing a decent job. And not too bad so far. So, Handgunners getting some decent work into Dwarf Warriors, but there's just Dwarfs everywhere, and they are just out-slogging the Empire. Belegar fleeing from Gotrek as fast as possible. Slayers hunting down Handgunners. Dwarf Warriors as well, hunting down some Empire Cannon Crew. Really nice play, though, by Ronin, taking these guys off the cannon and fleeing to the corners, dragging these Dwarf Warriors away from the main fight, rather than just, you know, dying pointlessly. Slayers have hopped on top of Handgunners, and they're going to struggle to get away from that in general. And yeah, Belegar, Gotrek desperately trying to chase after Belegar. Dwarfs are natural sprinters, and they are wasted on cross-country, but this does look a little bit cross-country for me. A unit of Great Cannon Crew is fleeing. They will eventually be caught by the Dragonback Slayers, and the rest of the Empire army is slowly being dragged away. Great Swords trying to force their way into the backline and shut down the Bugman Rangers, but they're being isolated now, and arrows are flying through the sky. They're simply going to get pinned from all angles. I mean, these guys could probably even stand and fight right now, pin them in place and allow the shots to go in the rear and take those guys down. Miners really used very effectively this game, did some decent damage to Great Swords, even though they do have 80 kills. It looks like one unit of Handgunners is forced off, and these Great Cannon Crew are slowly being caught by the lumbering and slow Dowie. Another Searing Doom coming down, but it does look like it does a little bit of friendly fire as well, but these Miners also do start to flee for the hills. All this Empire stuff isn't going to rally, unfortunately. It's kind of being pinned off, but Gotrek is getting in there. Balthazar Gelt pinning Belegar in place, allowing Gotrek to get those rear attacks in, doing a decent amount of damage, and it looks like Plague of Rust popped down as well. Gotrek will slaughter this guy in combat, but he does get pushed away as he does an attack animation by Balthazar Gelt, traitorous Gelt there, allowing Belegar to flee for the hills here. So he needs to try and snipe out Belegar here, and even if he does that, there is no way back. This is a Dowie victory, I'm afraid. But can it be a Dowie victory when you have to kill Gotrek? I don't know. Yeah, Slayer's going to hunt off these guys. Yeah, they're not getting back into the field. It is going to be Gotrek against the world, the ultimate trade. Well, Gotrek and Balthazar Gelt here fighting together. Belegar running away, though, as he does many a time in lore. Not that he wants to. He gets many a grudge for it, but he does have to fall back quite often from trying to retake crack 8 peaks. Miners have now been surrounded by Balthazar Gelt and Spearmen and will slowly be dragged down, possibly. But Belegar, looks like he turned around and they threw themselves heroically at each other, trying to fight to the death. Slayers need to come over here and assist Belegar slightly, as he will go down. Searing Doom popping in, trying to do some damage to Belegar and these Slayers. The Slayers looks like are actually going to head for Balthazar Gelt. If Belegar goes down, it isn't the end of the world. So many healthy Rangers, though, could just finish off these Great Swords if they get too close. And there's just Dowie all across the board here, and I think it's just going to be a slow and painful death here. So Balthazar Gelt doing his best though, doing what he can do. Up to 24 kills, but balance of power does tip over, and that is army losses. So it is just me Gotrek fighting to the death. It looks like Belegar could survive here, surrounded by his Dragonback Slayers, who are slaughtering the most legendary of their kind. I suppose that is the best way to go down, killed by orange mohawked madmen, basically, or mad dwarves, led by Belegar, and he's fleeing them left and right, doing the best he can, but looks like he's going down. But can he take Belegar with him? Down to just 800 health. If he has any of his buffs ready to activate, Gotrek can do bits. Looks like this poor Dragonback Slayer does get thrown to the hills there. We have a big old burst of health coming down for Gotrek though, getting his big healing proc here. And it looks like Belegar's going to have to get out of there or he will go down. He's fairly healthy actually. He's not too bad. But they are going to call it game there. So maybe the dwarfs can just, you know, calm down Gotrek. Maybe Balthazar Gelt put a spell on him and kind of force him to fight his Dowie kin, but instead they managed to lift the curse and they all live happily ever after, which is kind of a sad thing for Slayers, but at the same time, you know, happy ending for us. So, congratulations to Amove Hacker, who's the first winner of Season 3 of Death Before Dishonour. Took all the way by running there. Nice 2-1 finale. But he is going to be entering in to the Grand Finals when we do get round to that after we see all the extra people. Oh, glad to see I didn't miss all matches at least. What have I missed? You've missed all the matches, Pactor. Super sorry, bro. This was just the final, I'm afraid. Amove has just managed to win 2-1. Congratulations. Well done, Amove. So he's gained entry into the season finale, which will be held when we have 4 champions. But well played to all our competitors here. Yeah, sorry, Pactor. I'm really upset, man. There's a great Wood Elf versus Brett match. Oh, you're going to love that. Yeah. Definitely go back and watch that at some point. But so this whole video will get uploaded on YouTube. It will take a couple of hours, so just pop back in a couple of hours, Pactor, or in a couple of days whenever you're free. And it's a bit of a slow start, like a half-hour missed start because the game's crashing and all that kind of nasty stuff. But once we get going, you can just skip to the battles, and there's a really good Wood Elf game you'll like to see, I'm pretty sure. For those who don't know as well, Pactor, very good player, is actually on the channel under a different video. I believe it is the last video I put up, so if you want to see some high-level Dark Elf versus Lizman play, definitely go check that out. But thanks for playing, guys. So very well played to Ronin, Amove Hacker, Park Map and Ninja for taking part and giving you guys some glorious war to see. Well, the next playoffs be Ducky. I will probably have them next week. I will speak to you about getting you a place because you were meant to be in last season. I believe we couldn't get you in. So I'll speak to you in a bit. But peace out, guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Any questions, ask them now quickly, as the stream will end in just a second. And also, massive shout out to Lord Zeus, who designed the thumbnail, which is super cool thumbnail for this season. So I will quit that there. Leave those guys to it. Mouse seems to be acting up a little bit, kind of. Oh no, I just exited the game completely. Oh god, I didn't mean to do that. Well, that's going to be the end of the stream, as you guys are probably seeing just complete darkness right now. So until next time, guys, peace, and stay awesome.